Hard Rock Life.
Woo! Yeah, buddy. We're here with Chris Loring, the writer of the song you just heard.
Ow!
Dude, so, all right, what's the song title? What's it called?
The song, it's called Free Karen Reed, Justice for John O'Keefe. I struggled with a name for it, but I wanted to get this song before. The song was nothing. The song was in the universe before 5 days before the trial started. And it came in one night, and all of a sudden I had to have, a halfway decent demo because I wanted to at least play it for someone. I played it for a friend, for a couple of people, and they were like, "Oh my God, you got to record this. You got to release this." And I'm like, "I'm not releasing the demo. It wasn't that good." Then I went to our friend.
Oh, don't drop his name. I meant to tell you. Yeah, don't say his name.
So I went to a friend, and
he was like, "Whatever you do, just make sure you guys don't mention my name."
No, hey, trust me, I feel the same as him. I was skeptical about putting my name on it, just because of the implications,
Should I not have said your name?
No, it's already out there. I didn't do anything wrong.
You're not.
If you really want to analyze music, it's just a commentary on life. Like, I'm taking the words from both sides.
Yeah.
And combining it into a story that we all feel.
Yeah.
Through the words, through the, just the...
1,000%. Dude, I'm wicked sorry. We have interference tonight. Is it...
A band...
Yeah,
I'm used to this.
Yeah, we got some background noise.
Yeah.
It's louder than normal tonight.
Our band used to learn their songs.
Oh, right on.
We used to have a band practice next to the room, next to us, and we learned we learned half their set list.
Well, if you can, just speak a little closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Is
that better?
Yeah, it's better. Sorry,
right.
dude.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm used to that too. So, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but
well, so the song came to you.
The song came to me. I had been to a couple of things, and I have never protested. I'm not even protesting this. I've never been to a thing where like people got together and stood for a cause or whatever. But I saw what was going on. And it made me curious as to like, okay, let me dig into this a little bit.
Yeah.
And just analyzing whatever the court documents are, who said what here and there. You get drawn in.
Dude, for real. Yeah.
You get drawn in.
Yeah.
And so I had been to a couple of things. I had been to a couple of motions to dismiss, and I felt the people, their rage. They were angry. I was at the one where Turtle Boy got kicked out of court, because Lindsay showed up or whatever. I don't know if I can talk about any of this, but...
No, I think you can. I think that's legal.
Whatever. Lindsay showed up. Turtle Boy got kicked out. I happened to be outside when all that thing happened, and the next thing you know, he's it just
the charges.
Well, I think he was out at that point.
Oh yeah,
he had already done.
Yeah, so she had a restraining order on him.
Right.
She had never been to any of the fucking court.
Correct.
None of it.
Abuse of the system.
Yeah,
there was.
Didn't Paul O'Keefe bring her there?
It's crazy, man.
Dude, that's
crazy.
wild.
It's wild. It's wild.
And I don't want to say anything bad about the family, but that is
No.
fucking weird, though.
I think that is one of the reasons why people are so outraged, because in a situation like that, we have somebody who is charging somebody with something else, and then she magically becomes friends with the family, and poof, there she shows up in court, and he's already in there. So if I know the law is he's got to leave, but if he's in there, she shouldn't go in.
Right.
Yeah.
They're weaponizing the restraining order.
Exactly. And that's sort of what came up. That speaks to the bigger picture of what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Thank you, my man. I think that if you start analyzing, say, that one little segment of this whole octopus hydra of arms, you will find too many questions without answers.
Yeah.
Which will want you to just go look a little bit more, and all any of us want is proof.
Yeah.
If there's video of Karen Reed backing over John O'Keefe,
right,
lock her up.
Right. Absolutely.
Lock her up. If they have that, then let me see it.
Dude.
and I'll believe it.
Right.
And then I will be happy.
Yeah.
Or not happy, but I'll be at least like, nobody will have any questions. We all
and
have
John's
questions
getting
right now.
justice. His
Right.
family's getting justice.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So, the Free Karen Reed thing came up. It is the slogan of the quote unquote, movement, whatever they're doing out there. I've heard them all chant it. It's, it's like, wow, these people they're passionate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
now
we are Karen Reed.
listen, what they're doing to her could be anybody. She's an outsider.
Yeah.
And if you believe that she is, falsely charged, then you have to delve into, what exactly happened.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions there. There's just a lot of questions, and I think the defense has a lot of information that they're not even. We're only on the prosecution side of this case right now.
Right.
All of these people can get called back by the defense.
Yeah.
Once their side takes over, and so they're laying a very careful groundwork right now. Where they're just, paving the way.
Painting a picture.
To, painting a picture, and they're getting them to say things. They've, in my opinion, a few of the people have varied in their testimony.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, I get where you're being careful with the, but yeah, 1,000%. Man.
I mean, you got one person saying one thing, i.e., he came upstairs. I went upstairs and went right to bed. And then you have
the timestamp on the surveillance
camera.
camera.
You have the wife saying, well, he came in and he just went into the bathroom and washed up, and then he came to bed.
Yeah.
And he specifically said, I went straight. I didn't know. I just took my clothes off and went to bed.
Okay, so actually, yeah, interesting. I missed the part. I heard him specifically say he did not wash up.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of weird. He must have been so drained that he went out. So she did say that, though?
She
that
did.
He washed up?
If you watch her testimony.
Yeah,
yes,
I was listening, but I was working.
Yeah. She ends up saying he walked up, went in, washed up, and came to bed. And it was like,
The
okay.
devil's in the details, man.
Because they were so specific. And I'm wondering where they're going with, making sure they know he's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
how are they putting him in the bathroom? And he's denying it. Nope, I went home, first took my wet clothes off because it was raining, snowing, and I was shivering, and I jumped right into bed.
Yeah.
And they asked him, if you listen to the Yannetti's testimony,
He asked him if he kicked his shoes off when he came in.
he asked him a few questions about what happened when he got home.
Yeah.
Now, this is a guy, 20 minutes before, can remember that he saw a lime in a glass.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What was in the glass? A lime. Oh, you remember that detail. It's a lime. He said it twice. He made him say it twice.
Yeah.
So,
Yannetti, man.
and then all of a sudden he can't remember, you can't remember this thing, you can't remember that thing. There's lots of inconsistencies in the story. So that's I believe, I'm no analyst, I'm no lawyer, I know nothing.
But you got common sense.
I got common sense, and I believe that is the road that they are paving.
What I've been seeing from the CW right now, the Commonwealth, for those who don't know, what I'm seeing from them is that they're trying to point out guilty knowledge. They're trying to, by saying that, Karen knew where he was, and that's why he saw the body before, but that's why she saw the body before anybody, blah, 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 blah. That's why she was saying things like, is he dead? Could he have gotten, before they even got there, she was, freaking out about it.
Right.
Obviously, though. I think I think the Commonwealth is laying the tracks for guilty knowledge, which juries do normally eat that up, but this is not a normal fucking thing. And then I think they're trying to say that everybody was getting along, so nobody had a motive to kill anybody.
Yeah.
But that goes both ways.
More will be revealed.
For sure. For sure.
We're going to find out a lot in the next couple of days.
Dude, how much of a kick in the pants was it when, like, every time Judge Beverly Cannoni, like, just puts a stop to the momentum of the defense?
God.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yep. She's done it all along. In one of the last, one of the ones that I went to a motion hearing, and they were getting to the point where Jackson just had them, lined up, and she we're gonna take a break. Is it hot in here?
Is it hot in here? I remember that.
Yeah, that one.
To the stenographer
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
The lady breathing into a fucking ice cream cone.
Yep. I was like, the whole courtroom just went, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? You're stopping this right now? Because the name Albert was about to come up.
Yeah.
And I think she smelled blood in the water and kind of went, we're already committed to this case, so, we don't talk about that now.
So interesting.
But she absolutely jammed the brakes on right when he was, this was a mackerel and a tuna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good analogy, yeah. Dude, keep going. I don't
No, I just, I think you're right about the, so last week they introduced Caitlin Albert's friend.
Acquaintance. Katie McLaughlin.
Katie McLaughlin.
Oh, God
okay,
damn.
now I feel more is going to surface about her and Katie's relationship, and I'll bet you. I don't have the bet on me right now, but I will bet you.
I'm not betting you.
That there is a photograph of those two at a Cape Cod cottage resort rental property.
Okay.
Which might be owned by somebody from the court. Now, I don't know that.
Are you talking about the thing you don't know? Because I know that we have a judge that could have recused herself and probably fucking should have.
I think she owns property. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the Cape.
It's a seaside cottage.
That word is that description has been bandied about
Sure
people who are curious of these types of things,
Sure
these types
has.
of connections. So, if
Somebody's brother-in-law.
if there is a photograph with an identifiable feature in the back,
Interesting. Okay.
they will pin that, and this is going all the way, all the way.
You sound like Turtle Boy right now. Because he's always like, I don't know anything about it, but if I did, maybe there is.
I really don't. I'm the guy that knows nothing.
I believe
I
you.
analyze what I see, like in a Facebook group. So take that for what it's worth.
Dude, isn't it amazing all the footwork that like the Facebook population has put into this? Like when Katie McLaughlin said that they at first, Yannetti was like, so how do you know this person? She's like, I knew somebody named Caitlin Albert. Oh, okay, you knew somebody named Caitlin Albert. Are you friends with her? And she's like, yes.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my
they it took them so long to get to her to just say that.
Yeah, I did. I cut a lot out.
And and she still never really like got down to the meat and potatoes of how good of friends they are. But I'm telling you, like, high school girls. She went to her dorm.
Dude, I'm seeing people flat out being like, I went to fucking school with them.
Yeah.
They were friends.
Right. So that's just wave it in our faces. That's what people are upset about. That's what.
Yeah.
It's the complete abuse of the entitlement to say that. I went to school with somebody named that. It's like, okay. All right, where do we even begin? Then all these pictures come out, and Yannetti comes right in and says she's perjured herself. We need to address that because that has everything to do with everything that's involved here. She's the only witness that said Karen said I hit him.
Yeah.
There's no other person that said that. She then got in the ambulance.
Not even the cops. It's not even in the police report.
She got into the ambulance, told the other guys,
Yeah.
and they, maybe repeated it in one of their reports somewhere along the line. But like every single one of these people has just, like, if I did that job at my job, I'd be fired.
Of
like
course.
Day of. You couldn't, like, talk about Keystone Cops, the leaf blower.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I know.
This is a dead Boston police officer. Just you got to do something, you know. And I'm not even saying that I was there. I honestly, when I saw the amount of snow in the morning, I was very surprised that there was that much. I always thought it snowed later on in the day.
Yeah.
But it was clearly, like, you know, it was snowing.
Yeah.
And not enough to cover a body over, but there was a lot of snow there when they arrived.
Yeah.
So
that's after there was like a house party and people coming and going.
oh no, that's all. You know, that's many hours before. And when they kept saying, "Oh, you know," the cops, they were saying, "So did you see any footprints?" Nope, I saw no other footprints anywhere. You know, no footprints over there. Definitely they were not there. You know, and it's like, well, if the theory is that he was outside at 2:27 a.m. and then it wasn't snowing that much, because Brian Albert testified that tonight, 12:30.
In his grand jury testimony.
Tonight, he said, when he was on the stand, or today.
Chris Albert,
sorry, wrong.
Yeah.
He said, you know, not even a dusting of snow on the ground, not even slush.
Yep.
So, okay, that's 12:30. There would be no footprints.
Yeah.
You know, and if it snowed that amount of snow by 6, whatever time they arrived at the scene, 6 o'clock, and there's that much snow on the ground, there are no footprints. You see how neatly they paved that road?
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Oh, they're brilliant.
It's. I mean.
You can't fuck with the truth.
No.
And you see what happens when people try to fuck with the truth.
All I want is the truth.
Yeah.
That's really it. You know, I think anybody that is a sports fan or is, you know, in elections or any sort of contest where there should be no ambiguity.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out that the major leaguers are corking their bats, because that's cheating.
But if they're doing it, you want to know.
You want to know.
Yeah.
That's right. And if they did, then I could fry them. You know, like make them pay, make the punishment fit the crime.
Don't let this motherfucker get into the Hall of Fame if he's been corking his bat for 20 years.
That's correct. And it's the same all across the board. I just want to know the truth. Was he doing it? If he didn't do it, then that's fine. He really has that many home runs.
Yeah.
But if he did it, I just want to know.
Yeah.
Then I'll know it's not fair. You know, then I'll know that sport is not, you know, worth my time.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those things, like, this is one of those onions when you start peeling the layers, people deflect, they get angry.
Oh, yeah.
They get mad. And, like, all you want is the truth. And it's like, holy shit. Like, what's wrong with asking questions?
It's I feel in this particular case, it's something that's easy enough to, as an outsider, look at certain things and be able to determine whether or not it makes sense to you. Now, they put that kid up on the stand the other day who did the reporting at the police station, and there was 2 different pictures. Do you remember that? Yeah,
was that good?
Good. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So here's what I saw happen with him, and this is brilliant. This is defense. Like, man, you guys are worth every penny. They had him submit 2 different reports because the dates and other things on the cover sheet were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
The first picture is a picture of the curb, the berm there, you know, and the little spot where he was in the background that they kicked off their feet. The exposed curb. Have you been to 34 Fairview?
I have.
Okay, so you know the curb, right? It's this high.
Yeah, it's tiny.
But if you hit it with your tires,
you
know, you ding a rim.
Sure.
Whatever. But that area is exposed. In the background, there's the scene where John was, some of the pinkish whatever. And on the second report, which was filled out in September when the kid was like, I don't do the supplementals. I don't know. Somebody obviously put another picture in there of the supplemental reports,
Yeah.
And
But you don't know who.
so Yannetti got both of those admitted, right? But he didn't say anything about the picture. He just went all about the dates.
Yeah.
So pay attention to what he did here.
Okay.
Now both of those things are in evidence. Picture on one has a piece of taillight in it. The first picture has no taillight in it.
Yeah.
And the second picture, which is almost identical, has a piece of taillight in it. So now that is admitted into evidence. Those two pictures with different dates are now entered into evidence via the bad reporting. They're not going to say anything about it yet, but they are going to pull that out. I guarantee you're going to see that fact, and that is going to go into the planted taillight scenario because it's picture's almost identical, taken at a later date. This one was taken earlier, and there's no taillight. And this one was taken, let's even say, an hour later. They know, they have the metadata. They can go in and find out when that picture was taken.
Yeah.
They already know. That's why they did this.
Yeah.
It's coming.
If not for the feds investigating the investigation, they wouldn't have a lot of this.
True that.
Like,
True that.
and maybe you could even go as far back to say as if they weren't investigating the Sandra Birchmore case.
Okay.
Now that's speculative, but they could be tied in because there are a lot of similar names. There's a lot of same names.
I think you're going to find a lot more down the road with this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever thought of the idea that maybe the feds they haven't moved in and gone after everybody because they want them to be on the stand. They want to build their case. They want people to perjure themselves.
I say let them.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It's almost comical some of the things that if again.
It's unbelievable.
There's beauty in having knowledge at your fingertips, and knowledge being a group of people that has analyzed court documents. I can't analyze court documents. I can't. I go bonkers when I look at them. But once you see certain highlighted areas, you're like, okay, this person said this, and they said they were here, and then later on, and they omit certain things.
Yeah.
But when you say, oh, well, why was that omitted? And then you start to think about it, like, oh, well, they omitted it because this guy did this, and it's a cumulative effect. So once your brain starts thinking, all right, this piece of the puzzle, does it go on the prosecution side or the defense side? It doesn't fit this puzzle. Yeah. It fits over here. Yeah. Okay, put that piece away. That's just one little piece. Take the next piece. Oh, look at this. Look at the scratch marks. Did you see the way they did that? There was two guys that did this motion. The older guy did it too. They had the camera high on him, but he reached up and he did like that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember his name, but that was two people that said.
That was one of the firefighters, right?
It was the head of the EMTs, I think.
Yeah.
Is
he the one that was talking about the furrows?
Nope. That's the other guy that did it. He kept going like this, and Bev shut that down. Jackson's like, "Could you do that again, please?" It's not funny. It's not funny. Jackson's like, "So that motion, what did you call it, furrows?" And he kept reaching up and doing this, and then Bev saw it. She was like, "We gotta take a break. It's hot in here."
Chloe, no.
Whatever happened.
Yeah.
And the other time that I felt that in the Chloe involvement situation where they shut it down was. We've always seen one picture of the arm, right? That same one that we've all seen. Yeah. But there's a lot more than we've seen. We've just seen that one. They've got hundreds of photos.
Yeah.
The photo that they put up was different. It's a direct-on shot.
Yeah, the one that Jackson was holding up, or Yeti, one of them.
This is brand new photo. New photo. They put it on the big board. They put it on the screen for the jury to see. And as soon as Bev saw it, she's like, "All right, hold on a second. I need to make sure that all this evidence is being brought in here is approved by everybody because I didn't know that picture was going to be in this, or something like that."
Yeah.
but the picture was up there long enough for the jury to see it, and everybody at home.
They can't
And
unsee that.
it is not even close to the same level of detail as the other photo, the one that we've been seeing. It's like, okay, that kind of looks like a dog bite. This is like, that's a dog. You know, that is a dog. That's a German Shepherd, in fact. Like, it looks clearly like, you know, whatever. I'm not a forensic, I'm not a forensic, whatever doctor. I'm not a.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge of that.
Yeah.
But I know what my gut tells me.
Yeah.
And that looks like something. That looks like a suspect reason that this person was not hit by a car.
Dude, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not fucking tail. It's not cocktail glass
Facts.
shards.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that the woman that conducted the autopsy never swabbed the wounds.
Yep.
Never swabbed the wounds. If you thought at that point if there was a cocktail glass involved that shattered and did that to his arm, it's very uniform, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Like there's no way a fucking, a cocktail glass is just going to perfectly align itself.
Was Karen like a ninja, like this is a prison shanking where she jabbed him over and over with the glass?
Right.
And he was like, no, Karen, no.
Not my arm.
Don't hit the back of my head either. Like, I jest, but it's not funny.
No, it's not funny at all. We're laughing at the ridiculousness of it all.
They're waving this in our faces, you know, and
yes.
that's what's the hard pill to swallow. And people, not even me. I'm only going by what I see.
Yeah.
We're here because of a song. But I have been to the things, and people are mad. They feel like they're getting that anybody could get screwed over, and they know it. And these facts are going to come out, and people are going to be,
We are Karen Reed. The only difference is and a lot of us don't have a 6-figure fucking salary that can buy lawyers that can get us out. But if we could, we would. If a lot of the innocent people that have gone to jail could have, they would have.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a lot of that. And so with the uncovering of this, you start to realize there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on behind. If this is a microcosm of this area,
Total microcosm,
then it can happen anywhere, and I think that's what people are most like. Just they want this revealed. They want people to learn from it. Like down the road. I think. As
ideally, right? I hope that. Well, now we know the benefit of this being nationally televised is now we know the rest of the country is fucking watching this. And if anybody wants to see how to take down your local corrupt government, watch Canton. Watch what Canton's doing. Like you were talking about off the show about the Canton Board of Selectmen meetings. Like, watch what Canton's doing, America, because they are systematically fucking devouring corruption.
That was one of the other things.
It should start with police audits.
That was one of the other things that got me into this in the first place, because I think I started tuning in around the Angela Chan. I won't mention names from the group, but people that they're on screen. I mean, you can look up any of the stuff. The first people that started speaking out for Canton, against the select board. Now we know Rita
Lombardi. Lombardo or Lombardi?
Lombardi, yeah.
Okay, Lombardi, yeah. It's too bad that she didn't win.
I've met her a few times. She's a very nice and very motivated woman, very smart.
Nice. Yeah, she seems really bright.
Probably the first Canton Select Board meeting, somebody sent me a link. She's like, look at the way these men are treating this woman. And it wasn't even like, it's the oligarchy. She just said, watch their dialogue. Watch the way they treat this random fucking citizen,
right?
Okay, and that came out weeks later. That was said, but in the one of the early ones that I saw was 3 women, different ones, all saying the same thing. They were scared. They were not trusting of the police, and this. Are y'all ever going to talk about it? We have a guy sitting right there who's closely connected to this whole thing,
Yeah.
and y'all ain't doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
Yeah.
and you're going forward with this Karen ran him over thing. Like, it's just too. Your brain just goes, no, I can't. Nope.
Yeah.
Wrong. Nope.
Yeah.
When Rita pulled that letter out of her pocket, did you remember seeing that one?
Maybe refresh my memory.
A bunch of people in Canton had received threatening letters.
Yes, at the select board meeting. Yes,
And
great moment.
a great moment. And one of the family members from the Alberts, or one of them, got up and told us, she read us a little statement, and she's like, these marginally threatening pieces of information that you received are, blatantly false. Basically, she said what Morrissey said, kind of, but in a different way.
Yeah.
She just read through this speech, and then Rita got up and said, okay, so certain things are like when something happens and it happens, and somebody else tells you that didn't happen, that's gaslighting.
Absolutely.
And so
I fucking hate that term.
So do I.
But no, I do say
appropriately used.
It
here,
is so appropriate, dude. There's gaslighting up the motherfucking ass in this whole thing.
Correct.
I'm sorry. Keep
No, that's we can get into
Mouth.
gaslighting.
Sorry.
The gaslighting that she was mentioning was that exact thing. This woman got up there in front of the board and said nothing happened.
Unbelievable.
And she knew it. She had the letter in her pocket. She's like, this right here. My family has been threatened by something I received anonymously in the mail. Have you ever received an anonymous letter?
No, but it would bother the fuck out of me.
You may not be old enough to remember mail.
I do remember mail.
Stuff
I
comes to
remember
your
my
house.
first I had a P.O. box. Yeah.
I'm kidding, because that's all going to be gone pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Oh no!
back
I did
in the
get
day,
anonymous letters. Keep
going.
going. I know where you're going with this.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
before the internet.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember when you wanted to get in contact with somebody, you had to call them or send them a letter or stop by their house.
I missed that.
Yeah, it was good times.
And if you wanted to be avoided, you would be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm picking up that phone.
Yeah.
But anonymity via the mail service was a very easy way to scare people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a federal crime to intimidate somebody in that way, or I don't exactly know what if mail something, if you talk to
Some kind of intimidation thing.
there's a thing, it's a thing.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say that the way that society today will accept it, it's a thing.
Yeah.
So just accept whatever I say. It's a thing. But you can be charged, and if you're found in a crime mailing letters, let's say you murdered somebody and
You're
you mail,
cutting out in like magazine letters.
yeah, and you mail the letter to somebody else saying blah 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 whatever, and they catch you doing that, it doubles the crime. It's and it proves there's a level of subversion that is.
Sure.
You're actively trying to cover up, or you're trying to intimidate somebody.
Yeah, some kind of thinking involved.
Yes, right. Not just I ran him over accidentally.
Yeah.
Did I hit him? Question mark.
Yeah.
So wrong.
Yeah, it's wild. Jesus, it's hard to say. Like, where do you go from here in the conversation? Seriously, because there's. Dude, this is, like you mentioned.
It's a two-tiered justice system, and there's a class of people, and their enforcers are treated as one.
For sure.
And then there's a whole part of society that is us that is treated on the other.
You know what? And I think that is why so many people are gathering together right now, because like you said, this is a microcosm of America.
Yep.
And right now, you're right, it is a two-tiered justice system. But
If there is evidence on Jen McCabe's phone that has to do with the Google search, I will reference the case of Brian Walsh of Cohasset within the last couple years,
Yeah.
who,
that's-
chopped up his wife or whatever, but
That's
he
at
got
the same.
caught. But
That's
he got
at the same
caught.
courthouse.
But he got caught because the cops were like, "Oh, look at his Google searches." Well, there were Google searches that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
How to dispose of a body.
Lead detective though, Michael Proctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That case might get thrown out.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Annie Dugan?
Yeah.
It was the crime lab. The Massachusetts crime lab technician high up was falsifying reports
Yep.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people went to jail.
Yeah.
And they ended up finding out that she was making just, I don't even know why she did it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe she was taking money from somebody. I don't really know. I don't remember at this moment the specifics. It wouldn't take long to find out about it because it's widely publicized.
Yeah, I remember the name Annie Dugan, for sure.
But if you look that one up, you'll realize that she wasn't the only person involved in that whole thing.
Right.
You know, so you're like, oh, how could this be a conspiracy? How could 18 people all say the same thing? Well, here we are.
Yeah.
And she didn't hit him. That's the thing. Like, maybe if she did, show it to me. That would be the first thing. Lally should, if they had video of her running him over, Lally would be like, okay, here's the whole case. Put in the DVD. Exhibit 1A. Play. Here, run him over. Oh, there you go, jury. I rest my case. Defense, you know, and there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
That would be it. If that guy across the street has some sort of footage, which he never found.
Yeah, that Canton cop.
Responding officer, give him the solo cups to confound the evidence.
Holy shit, dude.
It's a hydra.
Yeah.
It's a hydra.
Yeah.
There is so many arms to this. You can't. I've said this to several people. They'll never be able to make a really comprehensive movie of this because it's happening in real time. It would be a year-long movie. Think of all the different portions of the story. The Canton Select Board meeting, Turtle Boy getting arrested, Lindsay, you know, the D&E Pizza standouts, the Canton Nine, you know, all of these other sort of...
Brother-in-law of witnesses threatening to bury journalists under the fucking seaside cottage of Aunt Bev.
Which, by the way, there may be a picture of somewhere.
Oh, dude, that would be... I would love for that to come out.
She had her chance.
Right? Right?
She could have dropped out.
How? Okay, so the law states in that situation for a judge to be applicable for recusal is that they would have to show even just show a chance of bias. I'm miswording it, but you know, even just the chance of bias, right? So when you have the brother-in-law of a witness in a fucking murder of a cop, I mean, regardless cop, just a murder, right? Say, like, threatening to bury a journalist under the seaside cottage of Aunt Bev. And then when the journalist is like, oh, do you mean Judge Beverly Cannoni? And he's like, who do you think's cottage we're going to bury you under? Like, dude, that is just the appearance of or possibility of bias, right? Yeah, like, how the fuck?
Facts.
And then when you look deeper on it, right? You look at the fact that she did not recuse herself. She actually told Yannetti to his face, like, I don't know this man, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, that's interesting because one of the other witnesses, or your brother, fucking was the lawyer of him. Like, your brother was that witness's lawyer when he struck and killed an immigrant 30 years ago, fled the scene, and waited 48 hours to turn himself in. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, how many recusal, you know, like, how many fucking appearances of biases do you need?
Yeah, there's no statute of limitations on death. Like if somebody on murder or something like that.
Right.
You know, you got all these people saying, oh, it's going to be a mistrial. Bev's going to end up throwing the case out, and then nobody will end up getting charged. Well, they got to find out who killed John.
Fuck yeah, man.
They got to find out. If Karen's found guilty, we have to accept it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
That's not my biggest fear.
Mine either.
You know,
not in a million years.
I think for everybody on both sides of this thing is the biggest fear is that this thing gets dismissed because it's a fucking shit show and they don't go after anybody.
Right.
That's the fucking fear.
Right.
If Karen got busted, would I be like, oh fuck, I had my eggs in that basket? Yeah, sure. But I can eat a humble pie. I've eaten a humble pie in my life. I'd just be happy that his family got fucking peace.
Closure is the way that people who want justice should be thinking.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
They should be like, okay, and that would come through only the truth. It cannot come through falsehood because you will have people believing the wrong side of things, and that will eat them alive.
Yes.
It'll eat society alive if it believes that it can't trust anything.
Yeah.
If humanity believes that it cannot trust any sort of entity that governs over it, then we got much bigger problems. But taking this microcosm and blowing it up,
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
they have to analyze this, and they have to find out a way to prove beyond a reasonable doubt how that guy got laying there in the snow.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
And once we know what that is, truthfully, again, show me the video.
Yeah.
Show me the video of her hitting him. I'll believe it.
Yeah.
But there isn't,
Yeah, the best we might get is lack thereof of video.
Correct.
With like
Did
the
you
Canton
notice-
Police Department,
did
like
you
42
notice
minutes gone.
Did you notice the Sally Port was like cut up?
Yes.
They had Helena walking, and then poof, 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 she's out of they had some tech walking in front of the screen, and then poof, they're missing.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was cut like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Just that reeks of sketchiness.
Dude, that's frightening.
It's
crazy that the Commonwealth even showed what they showed. Like everything. All right, I was talking to somebody in the hallway earlier who is a lawyer, and he is the son of another significant lawyer who actually is the lawyer for one of the witnesses.
Sure.
He might actually come in here. I just don't want to say any names. If he comes in here, fine, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, sure.
But so and he was talking about that same thing. Like the shit show that the Commonwealth is right now, and is it as bad as we think it is? And he's saying, fuck yeah, it is. Like, this is nationally televised, so we finally all get to see how bad the Commonwealth is.
Oh yeah. Well,
I think I fell off track right there. Sorry.
not really. I mean, we were leading into evidence collection at the scene. We were aiming towards the solo cups. Okay.
So the Commonwealth had the moxie to post pictures of the Stop and Shop bags with red Solo cups in it with a couple of droplets of blood next to a dirty rag.
In the Sallyport, next to Karen's vehicle.
Yeah, man.
So, what Lank? Who was it? Was it Lank or the other guy? One of the two of them said, "Well, the last time I saw, we scooped them up into the red Solo cups, we put them in the bag, and we sealed that evidence bag, and then Lank put it in his cruiser and that's in his truck, and that's the last time I saw it." And then so they were like, so naturally, would have gone right to the police station in the evidence cooler, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, poof, there's pictures of the stuff sitting on the dirty-ass Sallyport floor.
With a timestamp.
With a timestamp, Stop and Shop, no evidence tape, nothing. Oh, you never used evidence tape before? I don't know what evidence tape is.
Dude, right? Oh, my God.
It's...
Well, it kind of brings you back to what Yannetti said originally when he made his amazing opening statement.
Blew the doors off.
One of the things he said was, pay attention to timing. He was like, timing is very, very important. And I think he meant timing as literally like timestamps.
Seconds. We're talking about minutes here.
Yeah.
We're talking about, I mean, he had Albert Cornet today with the walking home from D&E. So you walked home, and it's what? It's 5. So let me ask you this, because I'm sure you've been to D&E and the waterfall, right? Yep. You know how close they are.
Yep. I could throw a rock at it.
30 seconds. You could, if you were walking.
Yeah.
If you ran, you could be there even quicker.
Yeah.
So he was trying to make it look like, oh, they're far apart. It's like and then his wife got up there right after, and he was like, well, where's D&E Pizza in proximity to the waterfall? Oh, they're right next to each other.
I could fart on it. I could queef on it.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, and
she looks like she queefs. That's all I'm saying. That sounded like
I don't know what just happened there.
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting belligerent.
Listen, she's obviously under a lot of stress, and guilt weighs heavy.
Dude, yeah, especially on your job.
Yeah.
All right, I should stop, because like when I see people in the groups attacking people for their looks and all that shit, I will say just right now I was not above it, but I am.
Well,
I don't really participate in that. I fucking don't like that. I don't like people attacking people's looks, and a lot of emotions are involved though.
Yes, and that's certainly an easy target. Okay,
For sure.
I kind of try to take the high road when it comes to appearance. I mean, I look weird enough myself. God knows what people say about me, but like,
You look like Jesus.
bless you, my son.
Handsome Jesus.
Thank you. I know that, like, people have bad angles.
Yeah.
You take a weird picture of somebody, and all of a sudden they look like they got a third eye or whatever. I got thousands of pictures of me, man. Before this beard, I had just a goatee, and I was playing at some place in Quincy one time, and a well-known photographer came and took a picture of the band, and he took a low shot of me, and I was just at the point where I was going. And I had this fucking gigantic double chin. Like, it looked like I was holding a salami under my mouth. And the guy, he puts that as the lead picture on his page. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, great pictures of these guys last night. It was like, I just wish he had sent it to me and said, hey, can I post this? But whatever.
It's more famous for that.
Well, in the end, you may be right. But
we digress.
When I see this woman, and it's hard not to feel some sympathy for these people. They've been bamboozled, and
You're not wrong, man.
She, what did she really have to do with it?
Dude, they all look like shit since the beginning of this whole thing.
They do.
Yeah, keep going.
They do. No, I just think that amount of stress, us normal folks who have just, regular everyday stress.
Yeah.
Not
trying to keep your son out of the house that could put him in life or jail. In jail for life.
Well, yeah, and
you hear so much about them, like so much personal financial shit.
Yeah.
Like they're shitbags for this reason or another, and it's mostly financial related.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, I'm like financially a dirtbag.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's lots of
Damn right.
I don't know.
Like, I barely make ends meet, and I'm doing my best to pay my taxes. Fuck off.
And that is most of society right there.
Yeah.
The large amount, the bulk, the middle class, whatever you want to call them. These people are them.
Yeah, for sure.
They're hard
Middle
working.
class.
Yeah, not even.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not speaking of us, obviously.
Slightly below middle.
Yeah.
Well, they're in Canton.
Yeah.
You can call them middle.
I think
There ain't no middle class no more.
Well, yeah, they're phased
That's a
out. They're
fact.
getting phased out.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's true.
But I think the age group that they're in, they remember a different middle class growing up
For
than what's
sure.
happening right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you got to figure, what are they, mid 40s?
Yeah.
Some of them are probably 50.
Early
A couple of
50s,
them are
yeah.
retired. So,
Yeah.
they remember life in the 70s.
Better time.
When, there was just one way of growing up. And
Yeah.
it was in Canton, and they all did the same thing. And,
You could buy your parents' house and
that's what they did.
Yeah.
They just, they moved into properties. Because if you've been there, there's nothing new going in.
Right.
Like, there's not a whole lot of land in Canton where they're putting up single-family houses.
That's true. Yeah.
There's not an inch of it left to buy. It's just
Yeah.
That's why the prices are so high, and there's no inventory.
Yeah.
Unless you're at 34 Fairview, and then you get $50,000 off.
Dude, I know. I was jealous when I heard that.
Oh my
but
God.
then I was like, you know what? Even $50,000 off, I still can't buy it.
Yeah, right. Well, the housing market's insane.
Oh my God, it's retarded. They probably made a killing on it anyway.
Well, they had the family. The parents bought the home.
Yeah.
So they've had it. They probably paid $30,000 for it in 1973.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And by today's standards, everything's just.
I would love that house.
It's probably a nice little.
It's a nice Cape
front
house.
to back split or something.
Is that a cape? Is that what you call a cape house?
I
think it's a
depends
ranch.
how you. It might be a ranch.
Yeah.
I think it depends how you walk in the front door. It depends if it goes up or
if
down.
it's like a split level ranch or not?
Right.
Okay.
Which is going to come into play because the basement door is supposedly right there.
Yeah. Dude, I look at that house. I have a couple of friends that live in that same model house.
Yeah.
I know where every room in that house is, unless they knock down certain walls and replace shit. But no, I know that house.
Most of the development in the era that those houses were built
Yeah.
were very similar. It was urban sprawl. You know, they were all built to like, I wouldn't call them kid houses, but you know,
70s and
you
80s.
had certain builders that could put up something at a reasonable price, and they all kind of did the same thing. That's why they all look the same.
And they're
you know?
nice homes.
Nice homes, absolutely. Well built, you know, like
Yeah.
they had good wood back then, and not like the
Absolutely.
stuff that's, you know, you go to Lowe's and it's.
Oh my God, yeah.
But
Yeah, we know.
they
this.
they have had that house in the family for, we just learned, many years.
Yeah.
And
Well, you know what's funny, dude? We heard that a while ago, but now that it's in trial, it's fact.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like I was always told that was like in their house, in their family for generations.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a fact until it came out.
right,
Like in trial.
right, yep. Now you have to. I mean, but they know from deeding and things like that. That's why.
Sure, yeah.
That's why I think anybody today that has a cell phone in their pocket, if they try to lie about their whereabouts,
Good luck.
you're all done.
Unless somebody kills you and they're running around with your phone. Yeah.
Up 3 flights of stairs? What?
Yeah, right.
The forensics will always do you in.
Yeah.
They found 227 to be fact.
Dude, I don't know how you can debate that.
It's kind of not debatable.
You know, our other friend next door.
Yep.
Not the guy we were just talking about, but our friend next door.
Uh-huh.
His brother is Tom CPU.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So they're like a real techie family.
okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
own computer stores.
Yeah, I've met
And
Tom several times.
I haven't met him yet. He's supposed to come on the show, but
really?
I've been friends with his brother Pat for years. And
Show him my signature when he gets here.
okay, yeah, you gotta sign something.
This is the guy from the song.
Dude, that'd be great. Yeah, I did talk to Tom like a couple weeks ago. He said he would come on, but he's super busy, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I talked to his brother. He's a fucking tech nerd.
Right.
Like he, not really a nerd, but he's the man. He's awesome. But he's a tech nerd.
Yeah.
He knows everything there is to know about that shit.
Yep.
He's like, no, she did that. She did that shit.
Even if it's kind of, even if you take, okay, let's take her phone records
Yeah.
aside, because we know she deleted a bunch of shit. We know she called everybody in the morning and deleted all those calls.
Unbelievable.
But let's take all that out and just look at what happened at 2:27 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
you got
Higgins and
Higgins
Albert.
and Albert butt dialing each
Bud
other.
Allen. Oh my God.
Okay? I don't know you, but I'm not calling you at 2:27 in the morning for really any reason. Those two been drinking all day. They went to that thing in New York. They went to the
That cop's funeral in New York.
cop's funeral. They come back. They go to the waterfall. They have their little, bear wrestling match.
Grabbing each other's butts.
And then they go back to 34 Fairview and then mysteriously call each other at 2:27 a.m. After Higgins went to the police station to check in. Then he went home and went to sleep and put his phone on the nightstand, but he butt dialed the other guy that was at the same house where the guys found on the lawn. I mean, like, it just, there's too many ties that are, and questions that, like, there's no way that happened. Why are you guys calling each other?
Yeah, when there's so many coincidences,
Right.
they're no longer coincidences.
Right.
Probability speaking.
So now you have two things happening at 2:27 a.m. Then in the morning, when you find John O'Keefe on the lawn and he's still bleeding, and he does not have frostbite, he has hypothermia, which he dies of partially.
Yeah.
But he does not have frostbite.
Yeah.
17 degrees all night long. If he was out there at 12:30, as alleged,
Yeah.
now he's out there for 8 hours. He's got frostbite.
Popsicle,
He's
dude.
a popsicle. He's frozen solid.
Yeah.
Still alive
Yeah.
when they got there. Haas long to die in cold.
Freak Aaron Reed.
I'm just saying,
Dude.
there's too many things that add up, and she
Yeah, I mean, so you have like 220, 222.
Yep.
Higgins and Albert, according to them, butt dialing each other. Does somebody pick up? Is there a pickup there?
Did you see the little 22 seconds thing? How long is 22? How long is 22 seconds?
No, I don't think so.
It's on the page. You know the guy that made it.
Right on.
But it's a little. It's
You're
a little.
on camera, by the way.
Hello, America.
Hey, for those.
Hello, world.
For those who can't see, don't worry about it.
Hello, world and beyond. Because I do believe this is being monitored by
Probably.
aliens.
Everything is.
Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
They're guiding the whole thing.
But are they aliens or are they of this earth?
They're both.
Okay.
They walk amongst us.
Oh, we should get into this in a little bit.
Yeah. Second hour.
Yeah.
Karen Reed's not one of them. She's one of us. She's human.
She looks like kind of a sexy lizard, though.
Well, if you're into that reptile thing.
Kind of looks like a hot reptile. Yeah, so we're talking
train
like
of thought
220,
derailed.
220, how long is 22 seconds?
So there's a little meme that's going around that's how long is 22 seconds, and then there's this phone call where they I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, please do.
And you realize how long 22 seconds is and how much can be said
That's a long
in
time.
22 seconds.
Wow. For sure. Dude, in basketball, I love sports.
Oh yeah.
In basketball, 2 seconds is a long
Oh
fucking
yeah.
time.
You can go all the way down the court in 2 seconds.
Yes, you can.
Yep. So I think the
I gotta check the Celtics score. Keep going.
Sure, yeah. I think the defense is laying an incredible amount of indisputable groundwork, and there's a lot more to come, and hopefully we get to the bottom, and hopefully we get to the truth.
Yeah, well, it's so fucked up because every single person that is anti-Karen wants her to be locked up. They've already made their minds up.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking cares. They don't see this as the defense is dunking on the CW. They see the CW and what they're doing is winning.
Yeah.
I can see things from both sides.
Yeah.
I don't have cognitive dissonance.
I don't either. I will listen to the other side. In fact,
Likewise.
I won't give them the clicks, but I will find out the information on what they are saying
For sure.
through the regular channels that we get our other information.
Yeah.
So you can find out what this guy said, what that guy said, what their beliefs are, who they're trying to sway, what they're
Yeah.
some of these the people on our side and on their side, it's very much divided. You're never going to convince them, no matter what happens, unless there's video of a fight. Again, show me the video, and then I'll believe that unequivocally she didn't do it. Or give me some other proof. They're going to have so much analysis of every movements of all of these people that they are absolutely, positively going to analyze the minutia and find out how long Sarah was on the phone.
Yeah.
How long Lank was on the phone. The light come on inside. Okay, let's go inside.
Yeah. What about everything that Sean McDonough is talking about and the geofence data?
All that.
That's you feel confident that's going to come out.
Yes, you do.
Why would we? For the last year, there's been breadcrumbs being dropped, and they've all come to fruition.
Yep.
I feel like people that are anti-Karen Reed are not paying attention to those breadcrumbs, but I'm paying attention to everything they're saying.
Right.
But all their theories right now are single-handedly being taken down.
It just doesn't make sense because I consider myself generally a centrist in the world.
Likewise.
I am not one side of anything until I sort of be like, okay, what do these guys do? What do these guys do? Let's sort of, and then there's a certain amount of gut that goes along with that because I'm not naive enough to think that if one side will do it, the other side wouldn't do it.
Right.
You know, if you think there's voter fraud on one side, that means both sides are doing it. It's
Sure.
never just one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In the case of a crime, it's heavily weighted to one side, and you know they're, you know, was Karen playing footsie with Higgins?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that ain't murder. You know,
No.
if there was,
She hooked up with someone else and decided, hey, I'm gonna murder John.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. I mean, you know, we've all made, you know, decisions in our lives where it's like, oh, man, I could have probably done that differently.
For sure.
You know, and Karen, you know, like Yannetti said, she is free to explore her options if there was going to be an imminent breakup coming or whatever.
Yeah.
I still sort of
We haven't
think
seen
we're going to
that.
find out. I think we're going to find out something.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. Again,
Sure.
I'm speculating.
Yeah.
I think we're going to find out maybe a little bit of flirtatious communication that could only go one way.
Right.
You know, maybe he was just, maybe he lured her over to his abode for their little whatever liaison they had. Yeah, she went to his apartment. Maybe he lured her over there. We don't know what was said to get her there.
We know what the defense has said.
We know what the defense
That there
said.
was just like a peck.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what got her there in the first place? Like,
Right.
What was the conversation? How did she end up at his house? You know, like, did he say, I got a subpoena coming in, or this or that, or like what was the catalyst to get her to that guy's house? Because he don't look like the kind of guy she'd go for.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
So there had to be some reason why she went over there. If she was exploring her options, well, that's fair, and none of us can judge that.
Yeah.
So,
Based on what we know. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's just, I wouldn't take anybody's like personal life and hold it against them, because people make all kinds of decisions. Lord knows I made them myself.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And
for sure.
you know, like that does not equal murder, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
whatever they did there does not equal murder.
Yeah, murder's a big leap.
Now, if she sent him in to be murdered, devil's advocate here on the other side. Oh, Karen's evil. She was talking to Higgins, and she said John needed to be straightened out, and she sent him in that house to get fixed up. Okay. Now, again, this is complete lunacy. This is me talking a theory that I heard. It's not even my theory. Just
Yeah.
you know, like we're just talking here. I have no knowledge of these types of situations. I have no forensic analysis or way to check on any of this. I know what I see in Facebook groups.
Yeah, man.
So I'm a sports fan sitting on the couch saying what Brady should have done, you know, in that last play, or whoever.
Yeah,
right?
we're all armchair quarterbacks.
We're armchair quarterback in this thing. But if she did that, if she had some sort of motivation to send him in the house to get straightened out, then that's a different trial.
Sure. Yeah.
She didn't hit him with a car.
Right.
The Commonwealth should know that. The Commonwealth should know that if she sent him in, if Higgins had, come on, send him in. We get the baseball bat ready. You know, like if that happened, the Commonwealth would have presented that right away. Look, here's what she did. She lured him right in.
Yeah.
And if that happened, I want to know.
Yeah.
And if she did that,
Yeah.
she should be in jail.
For sure.
You know, even if she sent him in to be fixed, though, that doesn't mean kill him.
Right.
Like, I don't believe that he was meant to be. I think what happened. I think it went bad. I think it went bad right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what most people believe is that there were 3 primaries and Chloe. He went in, had a beef. 2 more jumped in, plus the dog, and maybe he hit his head on something.
Yeah.
Who knows? And after that, they went, "What the fuck?" Well, they should have.
And that could be very accurate, depending on a couple of narratives, not even just that
Correct,
narrative. Like,
correct.
Yeah, that could have happened. Yeah.
So if she sent him in there under the guise that she knew they were going to do something to him,
Yeah.
okay, then I want a different kind of trial.
Yeah.
You know, but the Commonwealth would know that because somebody in the house would have been like, well,
For sure.
you know.
Yeah. She staged it.
Right. She said, I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen. If that's the case, then she didn't hit him with the car, which is what the charge is.
Right.
The charge is she hit him with the car.
And meant to.
And meant to do it on purpose. So I think there's enough, in my limited amount of opinion and knowledge, there's enough questions here to not tie everything to that notion that she hit him with a car.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what happened. And so upon that, you know, the search must go on for what did happen.
Yeah.
And the person responsible, because someone killed him, must be brought to justice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The botched investigation is going to be really, 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 really difficult to go find out what happened now.
Right.
You know?
And like I said earlier, I think that's like the biggest fear, even on both sides. The botch investigation gets the whole thing tossed and nobody answers.
I don't think there's a big enough case to go dig up a pool. You know, where's Chloe? Rehomed in Vermont? Bullshit.
Yeah. I think Chloe's probably dead.
Well, Chloe, yeah, no question.
But like, why? I mean, I guess it's not the judge's job, right? It's the prosecution's job to solve the murder. But why hasn't anybody pushed? Like, you can find out where that motherfucking dog is.
Straight up.
If
Absolutely,
you wanted
yes.
to.
Yeah, no, you're unquestionably.
The judge could be like, let's get a warrant.
Yeah.
Like any, sorry, I banged on the table.
No, it's true.
Where the fuck is Chloe?
Where's Chloe should be. That's one of the primary driving questions that people who think that there's a cover up here.
Yeah.
That's one of the big ones. Okay.
And then Lucky Loughran.
So take Karen flirting with Higgins out.
Yeah.
Take 227 out.
And take the Aruba John kissing that.
Take
broad
that
out.
out.
Yeah.
Take Higgins and Albert talking at 2 in the morning out. All those facts are out.
Hard to take out
Okay.
those things, but yes.
Hard to just put them all over here. Where's Chloe? Okay? So you got 10 things over here that you're already like, okay, none of that's right. None of that's correct. But we're going to put that aside and not even think about that.
Yeah.
Where's the dog? What happened to the dog?
Yeah.
Tell us where the dog is. Show us the dog. You got a dog?
Why
got a
not?
dog? Anybody? Your dog's been rehomed. Go get it. We want a picture of the teeth.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yep. Yep.
Y'all saying Karen hit him with the car? Where's the dog?
Yeah.
We'll get a bite analysis and then we'll compare it to the pictures. They don't want to do that. Nope. So
And why can't we do that?
that, to me, again, you got 10 things over here, all pointing towards one way. But when you have Chloe, when you have the missing family dog,
Of
7 years,
Yeah.
who admittedly has bit somebody a couple of times.
At first, not admittedly.
Well,
He
right.
got caught lying.
Right.
Brian Albert said he'd never bit anybody, and then they pulled records of the attacks that dog had done, and he sent 2 people to the hospital.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, he lied about that. I think he lied to the grand jury, right? And it was the federal grand jury that turned that up. Am I wrong about that?
I'm going to have to look up that fact.
Yeah.
And one of the...
it was lied about originally.
That is the beauty of being in these groups.
Yeah.
Because you have an army, a literal army of eyes.
Yep.
Analyzing things, and it's
Pulling
all
pictures
it's
up
all
of,
documented.
Yeah.
So that they know, when they said Chloe went missing.
Yep.
And that they know what whatever, what's her name came over this morning. I brought donuts and I was going to put them in the car.
Yeah,
What might be in those donuts? A phone.
Oh my God, that's a good point. I never thought of that.
A conspiracy theorist might think that way.
Yeah, sure. And I am one. I like to theorize, period. And you should.
That happened right now. This moment. That I was like, ooh, she said she brought some donuts over there, as she does, as her tradition. She buys donuts for the kid on his birthday and puts them in the car.
Even during a blizzard, she
drives over there to Dunkin's, which is obviously open at 8 a.m. in a blizzard,
but they throw fucking donuts in a car, and the kid's gonna come out and have some frozen donuts.
And he made me come in. She said I pulled up and I was gonna put the donuts in the car, and he made me. I mean, he asked me to come in.
Yeah, and she was originally like, "I don't need to come in."
Yeah, she said she had a little Freudian slip there. She was like, "He made me." I mean, he asked me to come in.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Watch it again.
Okay.
Watch it again.
Yeah.
She said he made me. He asked me to come in.
Interesting.
And I was like, I'm watching with my girl, and we're like, caught.
Fucking broad. Dumb broads. Fucking it
all
up.
I wouldn't. Okay. I mean, yeah.
I'm being belligerent.
Yes. People. Stupid
I know.
people.
It's a horrible term.
Well, we're in a different world these days. We can't say anything without offending people.
That old faggot. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No.
I got gay friends,
Yeah, no, hey.
I don't call them faggots.
So do I.
I call pussies faggots. That's
right. Yeah, wasn't that funny last night? Well, he called me a pussy, so I had to go out drinking, but, then I had to go home and shovel because Carrie was going to fucking take my balls out of her purse.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrie was going to come home in a mood if I didn't shovel. Oh, who's the pussy now?
Well put. Well put. In my terms, I'd say, who's the faggot now?
Yeah.
There goes our monetization.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
We lost monetization.
Can you cut that out? Can you edit that?
We don't edit.
Yeah.
No. We don't make money either.
Well.
Yeah, it's all good. We don't actually release this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Are those evidence collection containers right over there on the...
They might as well be.
Yeah. They look sterile.
Yeah, I got painter's tapes here. They didn't even use painter's tape. Holy shit.
So the guy from across the street comes over
yeah.
and gives them some red Solo cups.
Yeah.
And a Stop and Shop bag.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is when they produced the bag, and I think it was, I don't remember which Jackson again, anyone was like, so where did the bag come from? And I literally yelled at the TV, look in the bottom of the bag for the receipt. It's in there. Because you always throw the receipt in the bottom of your Stop and Shop bag.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the insanity of the chain of custody of those DNA evidenced cups. And they might have also found somebody else's DNA in there, maybe not just John O'Keefe's.
Wasn't there a report that said 2 unknown males? They said in the paperwork that I saw that there was John O'Keefe's, which whatever, it's his girlfriend's Lexus. You could argue that he was all over that Lexus.
All over it. There's DNA all over that.
But why are there 2 identified males, unidentified?
Well, if
passing hobos.
Maybe it's passing hobos.
Sure.
It could be alien intervention. That's another thing we didn't think about. But it's most likely when they were dipping that rag in the blood to smear on the taillight, there was other blood in there.
Yeah, I know.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I concurred.
I'm not sure that's exactly what they were doing, but I can't think of too many other reasons why you would go into the evidence isolation refrigerator and bring out the Solo cups and put them down right behind the taillight that you guys were just working on, and then open up that bag and take a nice picture of it.
What the fuck?
Exactly. That's what the whole world should be saying right now.
Yeah.
Because
I hope the
watch any. This is 2024.
Yeah.
You know what they have in every car? This is another thing that I noticed. Well, we've got, the Section 12 paperwork in every cruiser. Just in case we have these problems, we can just, if the officer says that she's got to go, we just fill out the section form, and then when the EMTs show up, we hand them that, and they take her, and she doesn't have a choice. So we can say it. We can go the easy way or the hard way. They have those in every cruiser. The guy said it. 2 of them said it. We have the Section 12 forms on all the cruisers. You know what they don't have in the cruisers? Evidence bags. Which do you think they should have? Why would they have so many Section 12 forms?
Yeah.
Why would they should need one per day. You know? But
yeah, at most.
you guys got nothing in there that's plastic, like a little baggie. You got no drug. There's no drugs in Canton that they're arresting people and they need. You know, I've watched enough cops just to know that. In any other state, they pull out the little thing and they dip the meth in there, and it turns blue, and they crack it.
Yeah, it's meth.
And that would be a real easy thing to put blood in.
Yeah.
You know, if you were going to take a sample of something and store it, why don't you put it in that? Oh, we don't have those.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just they're embarrassing themselves.
Yeah, it's sad.
And it is sad, and that's another reason why people can't look away from this, because it's just.
The gift that keeps giving.
It's inept. It's inept in every way.
Yeah, it is. It's like the definition of inept. Wild.
I've watched enough forensic files to know how most crime scenes are processed.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what I'm saying. They're gonna make it as dramatic as possible and take it all the way to a big Netflix drop in the summer.
Dude, it really does seem scripted. It is so fucking insane. It's
Yeah.
like, is this scripted?
Well, it's gonna have to really take a long time,
Yeah.
because it's gonna have to be like a season
Yeah.
to tell. They're never gonna be able to tell it all,
For sure.
and none of us are gonna be happy when the director's eye hits it anyway. They're gonna have they're gonna
Some pretentious
they're gonna deviate from what we all sort of know,
Yeah.
and whatever. I mean, hey, read any book and then have somebody make a movie out of it. It's going to be different from what you saw in your mind.
For sure.
It'll be like Karen and the boyfriend plotting the murder.
Right.
Dude, I just want to hear Mr. Ballin tell this story, like his version of the story on his YouTube platform.
Call
You know who Mr. Ballin is?
I've heard the name.
Dude, he's the man.
Really?
Yeah, best YouTube storyteller, hands down.
Okay.
The fucking best. Just so happens he's a Navy SEAL from Quincy, Massachusetts.
Oh, wow. So
Dude,
he's got the lingo?
Bro, I was in he's very educated, and he comes from like his parents, his mother's a teacher.
Yeah.
So he's very like articulate.
Yeah.
You lose your accent
I'm pretty
in the
sure
military.
he pronounces
Sure.
his R's.
Yep.
But I was listening to him for like 2 years before I knew that he was from Mass.
Yeah.
And I was one of like the early subscribers. Now he's like the biggest storyteller. Millions of subscribers.
Really?
Dude,
Wow.
if you like fucking true crime,
Yep.
or he calls it the strange, dark, and mysterious, and it's all real.
I'll check that out.
Mr. Ballin.
Mr. Ballin.
Chris,
Okay,
you
I'm
will
on it.
not
I'm on
regret
that.
it, dude. His stories are crazy, and I know he's gonna tackle this. He has to. I know
Yeah.
he will.
Who have you got to play Karen Reed in the movie?
I have not picked a Karen Reed, but early on with Turtle Boy,
Yeah.
like months ago,
Yeah.
I swear I was the first person to offer up. What the fuck is this?
You guys are fan casting?
Oh yeah,
No
dude. This is
question.
deep. This shit's deep. Fuck. Why can't I think of his name right now? He's a little older than Turtle Boy. But he dude, striking resemblance, and he's an amazing actor. The dude that played, fuck, man, I'm having a brain fart right now. And I heard Turtle Boy even be like, I heard people mention this
Jason
guy to play
Statham?
me. No. But when Turtle Boy said, like, he was like, I heard a couple people say, like, this guy should play me, I swear I was the first motherfucker that
Okay.
was like,
All
this
right. You gotta
motherfucker
document
should
it.
play him.
You got
John Malkovich.
No, it was a dude. He was in that Boston movie with like Ben Affleck. Yeah, that narrows it down. The one when they rob like Fenway
Town?
Park. Yeah, the town.
The Town, yeah.
He was in that movie, and he was the Arrow in like the Marvel movies.
What role was he in the Town? 'Cause
Oh,
I've
I know
seen
who
that
you're
a few
talking
times.
about.
He was like the really grimy motherfucker. That guy. He got shot in the head by the cops towards the end. He was like the crazy one out of that little group.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Okay.
like months ago, I'm like that dude. I know
Okay.
his
He
name.
looks. Yeah. All right. I'm down.
Jeremy
with
Renner.
Jeremy Renner. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I could see Jeremy Renner
that.
playing
That would
Turtle
be.
Boy.
That would be good.
He'd be really good at it. And they, Hollywood makeup, they could make him look fucking Turtle Boy's age.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
See, I think Turtle Boy's going to want to play his role, though, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think so. Yeah, I think he should. I think he should.
Well,
right?
he should have maybe he could have a cameo like in Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he was, standing back there at the hotel behind whatever.
Yeah. No, I love that movie. But yeah.
I've got Kate Beckinsale as Karen.
That's a good Karen.
Well, whatever.
I think she would play a great Karen
We
Reed.
can't really talk about the politics of Hollywood because we don't know.
Well, it's a
Karen Reed will be heading to Hollywood soon enough.
Interesting enough. Well, yeah, she will. Dude, Karen Reed, man.
She's gonna check right out.
She's a fucking hottie.
Okay.
Hot lizard.
Have you seen her in person?
I haven't. What'd you think?
She's a very attractive woman.
Yeah,
she seems like just a normal. Again, I've seen her say a few words.
She's got she's got our accent. She's like hot with the Boston accent.
Yeah, she knows. She's
She sounds like a Kennedy. I did not kill John O'Keefe.
Yeah, well, that part of that I think comes from being educated. Going to a good school, having a good job.
She's a professor.
She has life accomplishments. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't take away from it. You can't just get those. They don't just give those away. So, I don't know Karen Reed. I don't know if she's a nice person. I saw her walk by me a couple of times. Just like at the mall. Oh, is that woman a nice person? How the hell would I know?
No.
But I think,
She's very attractive.
She's attractive, yes, no question. And anybody should be drawn to somebody who carries themselves in the face of this adversity. To not go into the gutter and not have all kinds of she's I don't even know where I'm going with this. She just doesn't exude any of the characteristics that the other players in this thing have.
Dude, I have not known where we're going with this.
That's all. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
She's educated. She's well spoken. She had a good job. She's attractive. Obviously, takes care of herself.
Yeah.
That's all well and good. So John, he got a ringer, which is good. And in her defense, John O'Keefe was probably a very desired man in town.
He's a good-looking guy.
Good-looking guy, tall, thin. He's got the physique that probably is attractive to Cantonites, Canton moms, and I think there were probably a lot of intertwinings going on there where they were interested in him. There's certainly lots of rumor fodder going around about what goes on in Canton.
Oh yeah, a lot of swinger.
Come
on, Chris. We're talking swinging.
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about it. No, but so I'm sure you could say that about any town.
Yeah, you could.
I've heard rumors about my hometown having that type.
Well, like we said, Canton's a microcosm of what's going on in America.
Correct. So we know that exists. Okay,
everybody's fucking. No, I'm just kidding.
We can't deny that exists, and if that's part of their thing, okay, that's no big deal. But that doesn't equal murder.
And they don't strike me like that either.
Karen and John seem like they're cut from a different.
Yes.
They're like. So they both made sacrifices. He's got the kids. She chose to be with a man with kids.
Yeah.
Which is, and she, by all rights, even the O'Keefes were like, well, she was good to the kids. She spoiled them.
Spoiled them.
Which is what a woman with means who does care about kids, about his kids, would do.
Yeah.
Because I had not all women that don't have children will latch on to their boyfriend's kids.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when they don't, the countdown has been engaged.
Yeah.
Like the clock. You just initiated the detonate.
It has to.
Countdown.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And and I didn't get that vibe from them.
No.
From them too. And I don't know them, but I saw their interactions on the videos or whatever. They seemed like they cared about each other.
Yeah.
Did she send him a bunch of texts? I hate you. I want to kill you. Yes, she did. And you know how I know that? Because I've got those texts from other women.
Right.
Any guy that's been through a breakup or a divorce or anything somewhere along the line,
Yeah.
especially with texting and especially with people drinking.
Absolutely.
And people just, like, I'd wake up in the morning and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, there was no, I'm going to kill you, but it was, every other horrible thing that somebody that was drunk off their ass at 3 a.m. would just blindly text to their
Well, she never said I'm going to kill you either.
No, well, I'm sure that if the relationship was, if she's at Higgins' house and there is rumors of them fighting, because Paul O'Keefe did say he saw a big fight, but it didn't sound like it was anything out of the ordinary from a relationship with somebody that you do care about.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to fight every once in a while. Things are going to come up.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's what you do with that afterwards. And if they were planning to do stuff in the future, they had stuff going on, and
they had shit marked on the calendar.
they had stuff that they were planning for. So it just doesn't equal it. But that notwithstanding, she's a very attractive woman who's probably used to getting everything she wants.
Yeah.
And when he said, don't say exactly what that is, them hot woman crazy vibes get going.
Sure.
And, she starts firing off some text to him, add a couple of drinks. John, you fucking asshole. I hate you. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he might have stuff back to her, the same thing. We're going to find out. People fight on text.
Yeah, that's true.
Want to see my phone?
Yeah.
It's like, any guy that's been through a breakup has got some crazy shit on his phone, especially today. Not only that, but if you're somebody who's just casually dating, it's magnified 20 times. If you got a regular girlfriend or regular wife or whatever, you probably don't send hateful things to each other if you're really interested in that person.
Right.
But if there are hateful things going back and forth, which is probably 50%.
Yeah.
If you listen to the divorce statistics in America, or ask any therapist, how are your just don't give me any names, but of all your clients, who's got a good relationship and who's got a bad one? And I guarantee you the line will be somewhere in the middle, where you have extremes over here and you have extremes over here. And I think any woman who thinks that her boyfriend is messing around on them will go,
I'm going to cut your dick off.
well, amongst other things, there's an unlimited amount of things that they could say.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hope you die.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, or when you're dead, things, like you're going to regret this right on your deathbed. You're going to regret, or whatever. Who knows what the threat might be? Yeah. It's probably not even threat. It's probably more like, you fucking asshole, you don't know how to fuck, or, any of these things that would be hurtful to another person.
Yeah.
And that just comes out, just that alcohol, and those things start flying. I've had,
of course,
lots of friends. I'm a little older, so I have more life experience and more friend life experience, and certainly. I've heard my share of stories from people that have just over the years, laid it out on the table over a couple of beers, and you're like, whoa, bro, really? Wow, she did what? Sometimes I was telling the story, and you just,
it's life.
It's life. So you have to look at the overarching message of what's happening in between the lines of these texts.
Yeah.
Is she really does she want to, she said she wants to kill him. Does she want to kill him? No, she does not want to kill him.
Right.
Those are simple words that are just cast out in the moment, in the feeling of anger. And she probably has some regret for saying that type of stuff too, Yeah. But any woman on a rocky relationship, any woman that thinks it's going to end and thinks that their boyfriend is out there, or their husband or whoever is out there doing it, they're either going to sit there and take it or they're going to explode. And Karen is the kind of woman who is used to getting things her way.
Yeah.
As a professional, as a professor, as a person who has been successful in life.
Yes.
You don't get that way by cutting corners and being surrounded by a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
Like
You gotta be cutthroat.
Yeah, none of the people in this story have risen to what she personally has in her personal life.
Yeah.
They all don't have jobs like what she had.
No.
They all don't have degrees like what she had. They're townies.
Yeah.
Some of them are having, varying levels of success, I'm sure. They're certainly well connected as far as the police force and all that stuff, but they're not out there. She kind of is a self-made woman, if you want to use that term.
For sure, yeah.
So, and again, I don't know her. I looked at her LinkedIn profile. That's what you find out. You look that up on anybody in the world. She made it herself.
Yeah.
Which would be fodder for jealousy and people over here. And she doesn't want to look like a fool. So if she thinks John was out, having something going on after hours,
Yeah.
then I'm guessing there was rage in that. I'm guessing that, there was probably, again, guessing. This is all guessing.
Of course.
That she had, some sort of emotions going on, and maybe she said, go in there and go see your horse. The ocean of horrors out there.
Right.
Just go in. They're just waiting for you. Go ahead. Fuck you. I'm out of here. And drove home.
Yeah.
And then got up at 4 a.m. and was like, that motherfucker, where is he?
Yep.
I'm gonna catch him.
Yeah.
I know where he was last.
Yep.
I'm gonna if
I'm gonna call him a bunch of times.
If he's doing something, I'm gonna catch him, because the easiest way out of a relationship is to catch the other person doing something.
Of course, yeah.
It absolves you of all guilt.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, well, you cheated on me.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. Or vice versa, she cheated on me.
Yeah.
Once you have that, you don't need a reason to break up with them.
Right.
You don't need a reason to
Right.
not cause yourself any more pain, because you already know that's going on.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to look like a fool. Add the alcohol, add the instability to certain elements of the relationship. Yeah, she may have sent some texts.
Yeah.
And we'll find out.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at like the murder part of it, though, it's almost like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that she would have killed him and then called him a bunch of times,
Right.
And then called people to go look for his body,
Right.
Like it is, there's so many double standards, man.
We're going to find out so much more in the next few days. But
do you think there's more like crazy text messages to come out?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
We haven't even scratched the surface. We just got through the EMTs. She's not talking to any of them.
Yeah, that's true.
We're only getting into a couple of the players.
But everybody that the Commonwealth has called up so far, like even his own brother Paul, like all of them, like they're like, no, they really liked each other. We loved her. Like
I thought Paul was going to be far more,
detrimental.
Detrimental.
Yeah, me too.
But he really wasn't. I
think he wanted to fuck her.
Well,
yeah, I could be wrong about that. But I mean, he blew her a kiss. I thought that was weird, actually.
Well, there's lots of ways you can do that.
Yeah.
A turtle boy blew Grant a kiss, and it wasn't quite, like when he was locked up. Remember, he was in jail, and he blew a kiss at somebody.
Yeah.
They think it was Grant.
Paul blew her a kiss, and then he was staring her down at the courtroom. When they showed the picture of the taillight, he was staring.
So he went way out of his way to turn his head and look and make sure, because he knows the camera's on him.
For sure.
He do this, and then and that was a power move,
Yeah. So you're saying undoubtedly there's going to be more.
Oh yeah, no question, no question. We're going to find out a lot more. We don't know anything.
Where would that come from?
They've got it. They're just not.
Like the CW, like they're going to come up.
I don't think the CW's got it. I don't think the CW has more. I think they have.
Do you think we're seeing their hand?
I think the most that they have is the footage of the cruiser pulling into the John's driveway.
Yeah.
To do the wellness check on the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Which they didn't bother doing at 34 Fairview when they got there. They just. But they pull in, and the tail light. Okay, it looks like it's cracked. Is it shattered in 42 pieces at the crime scene?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
No, it is not. There's no question that it goes to the Sally port, and you can see it. It's not completely busted out. And that one still picture that Sean's been showing for months, you're like, that ain't no body.
No.
You could see the screwdriver mark under the plastic where he like gouged along the little black fin there.
Yeah.
Because that there's only one way a mark like that would get on there.
Of course. Yeah.
That's if you stuck something in there to pry.
Off,
Like it wouldn't happen from the plastic going in because there would be a bunch of little of those.
Yeah.
There's only one. It's a screwdriver end. I've stuck enough screwdrivers in things and broken them to to know what a screwdriver mark looks like. And that's what that looks like to me.
Yeah.
So
wild.
that means we got planted evidence, again, okay, take the Higgins Brian thing out, take 227 out, take Chloe out, put Chloe over here.
Yeah.
Put put every other thing, no hat, no belt, no shoe, put all that over here, put the EMTs, I hit them and put them over here,
We haven't even talked about the no belt, no hat, no shoe thing.
Put all that stuff over here. Put all that stuff over here.
Yeah.
And what was that thing we were just talking about? The 101th fact? Oh, that doesn't make sense either. So guess what? That one they're guilty on. These I was already suspect, but now we got a brand new one. Oh, look at that. It doesn't add up, Commonwealth. Does not add up. So I think we're going to find out a lot more. The Commonwealth is going to try to paint this Higgins-Karen thing.
Yeah.
That there was some extracurricular activity going on.
Gotcha.
If they've got, I think that it would have already come out if they had something that was like, I'm sending him in, bash his head. Get ready, everybody. He's coming in right now. If they had that, it would already be out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't, because that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And they're still going forward with the charges of she ran him over, and that is, in the end, the only thing that doesn't make sense.
I know.
So
I've seen a theory discounted so far, but Kevin Yellow Cottage Tales. I was gonna go on his show months ago because I was talking to him about a disappearance that I've been working on for years, and he's into true crime disappearance stuff.
Well, he's into crime.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows what the truth is.
Dude, as far as this goes, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I had Dave McGrath on, who
Oh, yeah.
used to run Yellow Cottage Tales channel.
Yep.
And we actually had a really cool talk with Dave. But yeah, I was he was saying that what was the theory? Oh, he was talking about how Karen had backed out John O'Keefe's car out of the garage because he parked in the garage all the time, according to a bunch of people, and she must have pulled it out and then hit it on purpose. That was disproven the other day because of the dash cam footage in the driveway. That car had been out there all night.
Clearly, he parked the car there because he knew it was going to snow. Anybody that's cleared a driveway,
and he wanted it for Karen to be able to pull in.
Correct. You put the car out of the way, so when you snow blow the driveway or plow it or whatever they were going to do, the car's way over there.
Yep.
So all the snow over here gets cleared, all the driving area gets cleared, and then you just back the car out and clear that little spot.
Yeah.
That's why he put it over there.
Yeah. So that was one theory. That
Also
I saw,
for her to get in.
Right. And that was one theory that I saw disproven the other day. And he hasn't really been posting much on Twitter like he usually does. But in the past 48 hours, he hasn't had much to say. That could be, whatever. That could be a coincidence. But then there was, so that theory was disproven. But then he put out another theory the other night before that was disproven. So he's putting these two together, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying that she disabled the backup sensor, like in the Lexus, in the 2021 Lexus that she had.
Oh, Karen did?
Yeah, and you could see her in the camera fidgeting with the center console, and she was shutting off the backup sensor, so when she went to hit John O'Keefe's car on purpose, it wouldn't stop her.
So I'll tell Kevin. I got news for you, guys. Okay, I've been in the auto industry for an awfully long time. I've been working on cars my whole life.
Oh,
I've been racing forever.
Perfect. Here we go,
bro. Nothing would stop that car from just hitting John O'Keefe's vehicle at the speed she was going.
Sure.
Okay, you could have that thing go beep 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 beep. You're still going to hit it because it just warns you.
Yeah.
It doesn't prevent you from hitting.
Well, are you sure? Because like I know Tesla has that. Like it will stop you at a low rate of speed.
I would bet dollars to donuts.
Sure,
because
I
we
believe it,
know
yeah,
her
yeah.
car hit it.
Yeah,
we
right.
saw the wheel
you
jog
saw the
forward.
Wheel jog forward. Yeah, yeah.
So we know that there was contact.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that you can crash a car into another car at 0 miles an hour.
If you want to.
You know, it's not gonna stop you,
You
at
don't
that
have
slow.
to disable anything.
Yeah, that's made to, and I don't even think it will completely stop a car. Like, we have a 2021 Toyota 4Runner.
I love those.
Dude, the thing is Mac Daddy. It has
Nice.
got all the bells and whistles.
That's a
And
nice
my
car.
girl bought this, you know, and it's got that brake thing.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're coming up on something, it does. It first gives you an alarm, and then it starts to stop. But I don't think it'll stop all the way.
Oh, so it's like assisting you to stop. It's like an assistant.
That's at the beginning. That's at say 40, 50. That's at speed.
Gotcha.
But if you're going 0 miles an hour,
Yeah.
1 mile an hour, how fast do you back up? How fast is she backing up out of that thing? 1 mile an hour.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no button on there you can hit that will stop you from hitting the side of your garage or another vehicle if it's right behind you. It will not.
Well,
it
in
won't be.
Toyota-
It won't be like. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, I can't go back anymore because I'm about to hit this thing. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
It will hit it because it's really just a warning, and there isn't life or death. You could run over somebody,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't stop you from an accident at that speed.
Yeah.
Backing up at 0. But she might not have even had her foot on the brake. In fact,
Well, and Toyota owns Lexus, right? So
yeah,
a lot of the features are probably the same.
I think that we're talking about less than 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, I get you.
You know,
yeah.
it's almost not enough time to activate the sensor.
Sure.
It'll just warn you that you beep, 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 but you can hit it.
Yeah.
I got a 2015 truck out there that has every sensor on it. I can't stand it because every time I get near something, it's going off. But it will not stop me from hitting something.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if you just bump up against it and scratch it. And I guarantee you, if you look around, you'll see plenty of Lexuses that have little scratches on them from people pulling into parking lots and hitting the car next to them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude, it's so funny because like I've talked to him many times in the past year, and he is rational. He's not an idiot. A lot of people call him an idiot.
Yeah.
They call him plebeian. All
I'm
this
not.
shit.
I don't judge.
I don't. He's not retarded. He's not.
No.
He thinks like he does think, but like, I do feel like he is invested in the other side. I'm not. I just take evidence. I take what I see, what I'm reading. I don't just take the defense for their word either.
Right.
Like I see how this is playing out.
Yeah.
And I see this playing largely in favor of Karen Reed, and I have her a long time, sure. But I'm not. I don't buy into that. But like, and it kind of, I was disappointed like months ago with him in that fact because it was like, oh, you're doing what Andy Defense is doing. You know her on Twitter.
Yeah, I know the name.
Yeah, or Jennifer Coffin-Daffer.
Yeah.
All those.
I
people.
don't. I've
It's
seen
like,
enough.
come
I've
on,
seen
man.
enough of those people to know.
Yeah.
You know.
Jennifer
These are
Coffin-Daffer
scratch
fucking
marks,
dope.
turtle boy. You know, these aren't made from a dog. It's like, look what you're doing. Look at the motion that you're doing. This is made by a plow. You know, like this is how
dude.
furrows are made. Did
Holy
you see that?
shit.
Did you see that? This is how furrows are made. One with a
Yes.
picture of her.
Yes. Yeah, that
That's
was
mine.
Oh, did you really make that? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
we've had several people, you know, making this motion when they're
Yeah,
talking
man.
about dog bites, and so when you talk about Kevin,
Wait a minute. What's your Twitter handle? Can I ask
I don't
that?
have Twitter.
Or can I ask you what your handle is? It's not fucking Chris.
I don't have Twitter.
Or Facebook.
We can go on Facebook if you want.
What did you put out when you put this out? What was that on?
Oh, that was on the Justice page under just my name.
Oh, it is.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Like I just made it, and you know,
No, I saw that.
Stuck it up on the Justice page. That's all.
Maybe it's because I just saw your name for the first time when I was at our friends and at the Cape.
It could be. It's listed as John Chris Loring.
Hanging out at Judge Bebb's.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the seaside cottage where we record.
Yeah.
No, but there was something that there was. I was going to close a loop on that last little thing.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What was it?
Fuck. You made that meme.
I made the meme. Yes, the furrows. But so Kevin, I think that he's
yes,
well spoken.
He is.
He's a smart enough person, but he has hitched his pony up to this thing, and he is too far invested to admit that he's wrong, which will bring him shame.
Yeah.
And that is where that is the denial. That is where denial comes in. And he will go toe-to-toe with anybody and tell them that they're wrong, and he comes up with these scenarios. Well, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't know anything about that. I just, I know what I think. And it's like, well, you're wrong because, again, we've talked about this all night, this ball of this one piece of evidence. Okay, take this one out and put it over here. That we're not even thinking about because we already know 227. We already know Higgins. We already know Brian. We already know that, Chloe. Now we got this other thing over here, this new one, and it's like, Kevin, this is a 2-mile-an-hour accident. It's not going to stop the car. He backed into it. You can see it. They hit. They collide. Her brake light comes on after the movement, which means, and then she drives away.
Yeah. And if you're
let's
claiming she was blackout drunk, I don't think she'd be smart enough to do that. But no, go ahead.
Let's say she did hit John at the scene and crack the taillight, and she was conscious enough to be like, okay, I'm going to drive home. I see that John's car is behind me. I'm going to back out of the garage. I'm going to shut off the backup thing. Because I thought of that after I killed him. Then I backed into his car. Well, where's the taillight? Where's the taillight there? Where's the damage?
Right.
Yeah. Show me the damage on that. She pulls out, and the next thing you know, we got photos of the scene with no taillight, and now we got photos of the scene with taillight. And
the dastardly Karen.
it's just like, so in that scenario, if they claim she hit him and the taillight shattered into 37 pieces at the scene, then what happened when she backed into his car? I mean,
it's a logical question.
Where's the taillight laying around there? Because if you guys are saying she drove out of the driveway, out of the parking lot, out of John O'Keefe's driveway with shattered taillight that had already been in 37 pieces back at the scene, right? That's how many they found? 37 pieces at the scene.
A couple days later,
Yeah, well, some that day, and some on 5 subsequent visits.
Yeah, undocumented.
Undocumented. Dude, you are right with me on this. So this is, let's take 5 documented. Does that make any sense? Nope. We'll put that one over here. Like all of these things add up. Where's the damage to her taillight at John O'Keefe's house if she hit his car?
Yeah.
Where's the damage? Where's the taillight laying on the ground? Oh, it's not there. That's because that's not where it happened. They fucked up that taillight in the Sallyport. They started taking it apart. There's a reason why they showed the jury that thing without the taillight in it. Because the jury would look at that taillight and go, That's why the whole thing's removed.
Yeah.
The jury will never see the taillight.
Dude, right. I know. They had the jury go to the viewing of 34 Fairview, and they showed the car with the removed housing. They removed the housing.
That right there.
Nobody's head did that.
That right there itself is misleading.
Yeah, 1,000%.
When Lally was like, "Oh, make sure to pay extra attention to the console." Okay, so
yeah.
I didn't know that they were talking about messing around with that.
That's what Kevin was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Lally was going to say, "Look, there's an empty cup holder right there where Karen's drink was."
Okay.
Because there may be this cup holder in the center console that is empty.
Yeah.
your car, my car, I got a pen sticking in there. I got, some change. I got a whole bunch of shit in my center console. Yeah. And if you want to put something in there, it's got to be an empty space.
Yeah.
So if you're going to carry a drink home from a bar, you put it in your cup holder.
No, he's angling at the fact that she was fucking around with the.
I'm going to look into that because that is a curious point.
Yeah, I was curious. Yeah, it struck my curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, to believe that, you'd have to reverse engineer the scene and go back to when she hit his car, and then like there's scenes of her, like when you zoom in, you could see her fiddling with something.
I'm going to look into that.
He's claiming that she's fiddling with that backup assistance thing, and she disabled it, is what he's saying. But they're also saying that she was fucking shit-faced that night. And to do all these things, so basically he's implying that she's so, smart and knew what she was doing, and this is why they upgraded it to murder too.
Yeah.
Well,
on that,
it is interesting.
So we are to believe that she snuck a drink in out of C.F. McCarthy's into Waterfall. She waved it around. 2 people have now saying that she pulled this glass out of her coat. Yeah. She had a clear liquid in it and a lime.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Right? So a clear liquid and a lime.
Yep.
So Yannetti, said it could have been water, right?
Could have been.
Sure, it could have been.
It also could have been her nursing a drink because she has Crohn's disease and MLS. MS.
You ever carried a drink into a bar or out of a bar?
Yes.
Guilty.
Yes.
I've done it.
I have.
I've been with many females that have snuck a drink in or out.
Yeah. For sure.
Is it illegal? Yeah, it is. People, like everything they were doing was illegal. Yeah, but they were buying shots and going to pick up the kids.
Exactly. They were drinking with a bunch of cops.
You realize how much drinking and driving they're all doing. Yes. They're all talking about. So, okay. She drinks all night at C.F. McCarthy. She drinks at C.F. McCarthy's. She drinks at the Waterfall. She has let's say she takes one of Albert's shots on the way out the door.
But on camera, you're not seeing her do much of that.
You're not seeing her do much, but
keep going.
Let's say she did.
Sure.
Let's say she had 5 drinks.
Yeah, they're saying 9.
And okay, we know she bought drinks because she's probably the one with a credit card that's like, anybody else got this check, motherfuckers?
Which she did a lot.
Here you go. Of course she
did.
Of course she spoiled the kids. They hated it.
Yeah.
And they're all like, you're throwing your money around here, Mrs. Big Bucks,
Yeah.
But that notwithstanding, let's say she has 5 drinks. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been with an alcoholic?
No, I never really dated an alcoholic.
Okay. Have you ever known any in your life? Anybody that will hide a bottle?
For sure.
Or something like that?
For sure.
When they drink.
Hell yeah.
When they drink.
I'm like,
and no judge, but anybody that will hide a bottle or put, or buy nips because they can throw them out the car window.
Yeah.
There's
I had nips tonight. I'm not throwing them out car windows.
No.
This is my night out.
We're just talking.
This isn't about me.
We're just talking here. Yeah. But we all know the behaviors of those people. There's reasons nips exist.
Yeah, for
sure. And it ain't for sitting around.
Yeah.
It's for when you're going somewhere and you want to hide something.
Yeah, you gotta
and I gotta look. My front lawn is littered with nips, and it ain't from people walking by just dropping them. They throw them out the window because so we know how much of that's going on.
That's why they're trying to ban them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So again, that's a whole other thing, and I don't even.
They make
let's not lose this.
They make great little pipes too.
They do make pipes.
That notwithstanding, let's say she had 5 drinks, the shot, the nip, then she goes to Fairview and. She's half in the bag. She drives off. She goes to her house, and she's ripped.
Yeah.
And she slams down 3 or 4 drinks. Not saying she did.
Right.
But I know people that would.
Sure.
I know people that would get home in that situation.
Yeah.
Start dialing them like she did 70 times or however many. Fuck you! I fucking hate you. And they I
it's a thing.
It's a thing. and you have nobody controlling your consumption at that point. If it's hard liquor, you know, and you down 4 or 5 of those, well, by the time she leaves in the morning, she's shittoed.
Sure.
If that's you know, that's one. That's one scenario.
I'm following.
She doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would be able to do that, because she has a good job and she has, you know, she's not one of those types of alcoholics.
And she didn't even want to go out to party. She wanted to go home.
Right.
She's got, and I'm not even trying to harp on it. She's got Crohn's disease.
Right.
I know people with Crohn's disease.
Right.
You can't fuck around with alcohol and Crohn's
She's had
disease.
enough. You can see
As someone who knows something or two about getting messed up,
Sure.
if she was really as, you know, slathered as they claim, there would be a huge breadcrumb trail. There would be way
Agree.
more evidence of that.
Agree.
Like-
Yes, that's been brought up for sure.
She walks into
You're
the bar.
right. She hit him and then drove perfectly home. Like,
Right. When she walks into the bar,
Good point, Brian.
she steps in front of the band and she does like a one of these. You know, to the people in there. She does like a Superman, like, "Whoo," and John walks the other way. They played this today. Do you they were asking one of the witnesses, Albert or whatever, he's like, do you remember this happening? And you could see John walk in, and he's by himself, and then when you look, Karen's over here, and she walks in front of the band, and she doesn't point to the band, but she points to the other people there, of a gesture of familiarity.
Yeah.
Now, I've only met you once, but if I was at Wiggins up here and I saw you across the bar, I'd probably do something like that.
Oh,
you
I'd
know?
attack you with hugs.
Just saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's a familiarity when you bust out a move like that. You know, just walking up to people you don't never met before.
Hey.
Right. Right. So she obviously felt comfortable within the crowd.
Yeah.
And it does not indicate that she might have been shit-faced at that point, but she did not have a glass in her hand.
Yeah.
I will say that much. Was
Yeah.
it in her jacket? Maybe. Whatever. But you can see her walk in, and when she does this, it's like, couldn't do that with a glass.
No.
So did she have a glass? They're going to try to paint that was the glass, that she had that glass all night. They might have even, you know, the glass that was found at the scene.
Yeah.
They're trying to pin that on her.
See,
somehow.
I would be trying if I were doing that, I would have to see them refill that glass, because other than that, that makes me think she was nursing that drink.
He said, Chris Albert said, because he was very specific about the lime and how much she had to drink and what kind of liquid was in there today, he said, no, I'm pretty sure she pretty much only just drank out of that glass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
You can't do that at other bars.
they're not going to fill your glass.
No.
They're not going to fill another glass from another bar. That's for sure.
Right.
In fact, they're going to be probably pissed that you brought it in.
Yeah.
But there are people that they will cut slack on that.
Sure.
Now, I know I've been to bars and I've seen people walk in with a drink and, that's, you know, Betty Lou from down the street. You know, she's the neighborhood. You know, she does that all the time. Nobody says it. Don't ask, don't tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
No harm, no foul. She's walking home. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She brought donuts. So, like, they
Let it go.
yeah, they let it go. And that's how the whole thing works. They let things go, and then it just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And then you get this air of entitlement. No, we can go drink and drive every night. We can go to the Waterfall Bar and have a bunch of shots, and then everybody drives home, and then we go to the after party where everybody's drinking there, and then they all drive home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, like, what's pretty clear is that she wasn't that girl. Like, they didn't party with her all the time at those bars.
Outsider.
Yeah, she's
what
an
she was.
outsider. Yeah, totally.
Which is, you know, the big is one of the big bones of contention why they think that they pinned it on her in the first place. They're trying to pin it on her in the first place because she is not part of the group. She's disposable to them.
Yeah.
They're trying to portray
They're a fraternity.
Yeah, they're trying
Yeah.
they're trying to paint a picture of how tight the Alberts are. And would you know, like today,
Yeah,
would you
rituals.
stand? Would your brother stand up for you? And you know all this other stuff, and they're making a very good case to prove that because they do. Those type of people will lie for each other even if they know it's wrong.
And they have been.
They have been. I have a very, very close connection in my life to people that are like that will lie, even though they know.
Yeah.
Now, I've never been faced with this type of scenario.
Sure.
But I know who they are.
Yeah.
And I know.
They'll lie.
They will lie.
Yeah.
They will lie to police. They will lie to friends. They will lie to everybody to cover their asses.
Yeah.
To absolve themselves of the guilt of whatever the hell it was they did.
Sure.
You weren't shopping with your mom the other day? You know?
Yeah.
What? You said you were shopping with your mom. You weren't with your mom?
I don't even know my mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, my mom, what did she say?
I was adopted.
Yeah. So, like, exactly. And that breeds pathological lying. And that's what makes something like this so very easy to draw others into.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Karen's the outsider. She's, like they're saying, she's not part of that group. She's expendable. She's the one that they're going to be like, well, we pushed the button on her. And nobody thought this was going to happen. Because until Haas Long to Die in Cold was found, this case was over.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking into it. There was no way she was going to be able to find this type of stuff and gain the public spectacle to which it has become. And, you know, love or hate Turtle Boy, I've certainly heard both sides on him. He did break it open.
Yeah.
And he brought it to the public spectacle. You know, I think, you know, we're looking at a completely different set of circumstances without him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think the rolling rallies, I got caught up in those. I was like, oh my God, this guy is like, he's got a bullhorn. He's like, this is legit.
Yeah.
I wish more people had
balls.
Well, I wish more people had the ability to do what Karen's doing.
Sure.
You know, because we know there's injustice.
Yeah.
I have a lawyer friend. I have two lawyer friends. They're married, and I was talking to them about the case probably like 4 months ago. I mean, you guys following the Karen Reed case? And they're like, yeah, you know, I heard something about that. They're like, I just don't understand why such a run-of-the-mill case is just picking up so much steam. And I'm like, what do you mean run-of-the-mill? They're like, oh, you don't know nothing. They're like, you don't know nothing. You have no idea what's going on. There's a big case that's coming out of Fall River. You're going to hear about it. And I was like, okay, all right. So that's two. We don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
well, that's like our buddy earlier that I talked to in the hallway.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, I was like, is it just in my head?
Right.
Like, is the defense really destroying the Commonwealth? And he's like, no, they're destroying the Commonwealth. And the fact that this is nationally televised, everybody's finally seeing how much of a piece of shit the Commonwealth is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fact, Jack.
Yeah, man. You know, like we've said multiple times already, this is a microcosm of America.
Yeah.
And I hope that a lot of other places, well, they are. That's the benefit of having it being national televised. A lot of people are looking at this case. And more people than not now know that Canton has won the vote to audit their police.
Yeah.
Like, America should be looking at Canton and taking notes, because this is how you systematically take down corruption.
Yeah.
And you start with at a state level, or
Yep.
no, you start at a town
Lower.
level.
Yeah, because those are your low-level elected officials that have the
Right.
jurisdiction over most people.
Yeah, man. And like the fact that it is a microcosm, the whole point to that is that it begins at the bottom, and if it's happening here, then it's happening at the top.
That's true.
Because everything trickles down.
Yep.
Through that fucking pyramid of corruption.
I had a client that used to have her father was a mayor of a Canadian city, a large Canadian city. I'm not going to say her name, but she was down here. We were working on some software deal back in the day, and
Did she hate Jordan Peterson?
This is way before that.
Okay.
Kev, move your mic this way.
Yeah, keep going.
The other way. Talk to the front of it. There you go.
Gotcha.
We went out.
Oh, the light.
We went out after work, and a couple of 2, 3, 4, 5 drinks later, she's like, let me tell you about politics. It's all about how dirty a deal you can get away with. And that starts at every level. He's like, every politician is dirty. My dad has got so many people like chasing him around. And she's like, I'm not saying he didn't do stuff. I was like,
sure.
Okay, well, are we closing this deal tomorrow? Are you going to buy the software? Or are we out of here? So.
Are you a tech guy?
I was for a little while.
All right. I didn't mean to pull you out of that.
No, not at all. I've had a myriad of jobs.
Well, I totally get your I get your point though. Like, yeah. Every level.
When you're talking about there's two,
when you're talking about human beings,
right? So there's two ways to look at that.
Yeah.
There's it's at every level. It's a microcosm. It's in every town in America. If there's people that are there long enough, who do you know? Sully. I know Sully and Macca and Murph. And those three guys run the town. It's tribal, correct? Yeah. But I will say this: I did some time to do some traveling. I was gone 4 months. I met everybody in the country. I went all over the place. I was by myself a lot of the time. I was staying in people's houses that I didn't know. I was staying with folks that knew I was headed in their direction, but I had never met them before.
That sounds like half of my life.
It was an incredible experience, and I'm talking about people from both sides of the political aisle.
Sure.
And this is right after the election. This was 2021.
No shit.
So it had just elapsed into the new presidency.
Yeah.
And there was all the January 6th stuff going on. But you know what? Nobody really talked about that. People as a whole were incredibly awesome, welcoming. I can think of a 5-minute period where I met some people I didn't want to ever see again. 5 minutes. But the rest of the time, I was welcomed, and I know right now if I leave tonight, I can travel this country perhaps for the rest of my life, and doors are open with the people that I've met along this way. They're all awesome, and you can't believe what's on your phone, because if you think, you leave Massachusetts, I see people all the time, oh, Texas is fucking whacked, all those people down there, Alabama secede, or whatever. They don't know the people there.
Yeah.
You go there and you meet them.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have any problems.
You connect with them.
You connect with them. I stayed in the Bayou. I stayed in everywhere. Washington. I was like, I was all over the place. Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, 47 states. And like I said, there was only one 5-minute period where I thought I was going to die.
Isn't that a great feeling, though?
It was the best.
Yeah.
It was the best. And
because you realize you connect with most people. More than not, people have things in common.
Correct. There's a community out there. So it was a motorcycle, motorcycle trip. So there were people out there that travel that are, friendly to people that travel on bikes. And there's a whole community that's like, oh, you heading for Des Moines? Look this guy up.
Nice.
Sully. And next thing you know, you're in Sully's garage. I guess I'm staying here tonight.
That's awesome.
And again, both sides of the political aisle. I never heard anybody say anything, mean about one group of people or another group of people. I say with all people of all colors, people of all, agendas, race, creed, genders, and all of them were awesome. I remember I was in Mendocino and somebody looked. I was just traveling through, and I don't do Instagram. I have like a one Instagram account, and I posted a picture of Mendocino, and I got a message like the next day. Are you traveling? Are you a traveling artist? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm kind of a musician. Well, I run an art farm in Mendocino, and if you come back this way, look us up, because you can, if you're traveling and you want to crash. This is how the whole thing works.
That's awesome.
Like, if you want to crash, come on over. We got a space for a tent or whatever. They ended up having a little cottage that I stayed in. But, this is what happened all along the way. So people knew, they saw my trajectory, and they knew that I was coming. Like, 2 days away. Oh, you're hitting Portland? Look me up.
That's
Boom,
awesome.
and the next thing you know, I'm at their house.
Man.
It's a great country.
Yeah.
It's a really great country. Don't believe the division that they're sowing to you.
Yeah.
You know, because they want you to stay here.
Yeah.
They want you to stay in your place.
Yeah, they want to compartmentalize you.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
for sure. For
So,
sure. You know, that's so funny. I mean, you know what? I mean, I think that even expands beyond the country. I think it's like that in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like the fortune and opportunity to travel to different parts of the world a few different times.
Yep.
And like you said, dude, like 95% of it, amazing. We all connect. Nobody has any bias towards anybody.
Right.
And you could be coming from two different like political avenues, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're people.
You're both adventurous. You're
Yeah.
both out there. You know,
Yeah.
you're out there looking around, trying to get stuff done. I met a girl on the road in Colorado, actually, and we had a lot of people were following this trip. I mean, I was my page is frivolity. It's I don't use Facebook like everybody else uses it. I'm giggling when I post something. It's usually like something foolish or whatever.
Being facetious.
But there's a theme that goes along with it. But while I was on this trip, I was posting, okay, here I'm at the Grand Canyon. Here I am at Crater Lake. Here I am at Rialto Beach. You know, I'm like,
Nice.
I'm posting all these incredible pictures, and people were weighing in.
Yeah.
And they're like, we gotta get together. You know, you gotta like let me know when you get back if you ever do
That's
this again.
beautiful.
But I'm in Colorado, and I met my girl out there, and
Colorado's awesome.
it was amazing.
Yeah, Colorado's awesome.
Yes, the ridiculous scenery out there, and you know, I had never met her before. She's from actually here. She lived in Vermont, but had Massachusetts roots, and just happened to be out there for a couple of days, and we were within like a half hour of each other.
Nice.
She's like, "Oh, why don't we do lunch? We got to meet. You know, let's finally I'd never met her, never even been in the same room with her." But here we are having lunch out there, and she's like, "I just love your sense of adventure. I'm an adventure. I love adventure myself, and I just love that what you're doing. I've been following your whole trip. It's been incredible. The photos are unbelievable. I want to do what you do. You know, I've been other places. I've been all over the world. You did this, you know, nationally. So there were two different adventure cycles, and that springboarded a whole new life, and it happened because I was free. I was out there, and I was like, I don't have to go back home. I don't have a home right now. I sort of felt like, well, if I get back east, I'll look you up, you know. And she was like, yeah.
It's awesome.
And I you know, off we went. And then I wasn't assured to go back. I was not guaranteed to come home, except for the only thing that I really, really love around here is the summer, you know, and it was summertime, so I had to kind of get back and sort of, you know, enjoy that. But when you're traveling and you're having these experiences where you don't have to fear anything, there's nothing to be afraid of, except for falling off a cliff,
Sure.
which there was plenty of.
Some big
Getting
cliffs.
run over by a semi. But you know, the freedom allowed the open expression to I don't know where I'm going with that. I ran out of words.
No, I think you're.
Don't be divided.
I think you're beautifully
To not be divided. That's what it is.
Freedom to not be divided.
I felt no division
There it is.
while I was there.
Good
I
job,
saw
Ryan.
I saw things that I would say, okay, I could see back home where that would see, you know, people would see this on the news and be like, "Ah." I saw the tent cities. You know, I saw San Francisco. A guy took a shit on the street right in front of me.
Yeah.
That was
they
me.
have, dude. They have apps you can
It-
download.
was it you?
That was me.
Yeah, because you look familiar.
You shit me. I am the shit.
I have no home either.
Yeah.
Dude, you can download apps when you're like in San Francisco and other areas that tell you where the shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not even.
I
joking.
believe it.
That's
I
how
believe
fucking
it. Well,
common. it
hey,
is.
listen, I was a naive. I did not see this guy coming. He was walking across the street, and he did not break his stride.
Sure. Yeah.
And,
San Francisco's a fucking
Yeah,
weird place.
it was crazy. This was at the foot of the Transamerica Building, so it was
No
right
kidding.
downtown.
Yeah.
We got redwoods, the Transamerica Building, and some guy shitting in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, that being said, I had no bad experience there either. You know, like it was good all around.
I mean, yeah, man. Human beings are built with the ineptability to connect. I mean, because we have to. We're tribal. People are ultimately tribal. Some of the worst experiences you could have are with people that are dedicated to a small tribe.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you there.
No, no, they don't.
And they're protective, but they're protective for good reason.
Yeah.
Probably because they haven't fucking traveled. You know, they're just protective of the place they know. And that's what they want to protect.
When I hear the stories of Aruba, and I think nothing says Canton more than the word Aruba.
How so?
Because that's where they go. Have you been to Aruba?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Good.
Brian, have you been to Aruba?
Do you guys mind if I shit on Aruba?
No.
No, I'm kidding. I've never been there.
Shit on anything,
no,
bro.
I'm kidding.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm
Shit on this table.
I'm not Cantonese, or I've never been to Aruba.
You can shit on this table.
It's just, yeah. Well, all right then. No, I think, and I'm not going to shit on Aruba. I don't care where people travel, but
Cantonese people go to Aruba.
they go to
typically.
Aruba. Correct. Yes, because they see the ad in the Globe. Oh, look, honey, the flights to Aruba are $199. Let's get on the plane. That's who they're advertised to.
Sure.
That's where the plane goes. That's a cheap flight, and that's a place where it's all inclusive and they love it, and they don't know any better. Mm-hmm. But if you drop somebody from Canton in the middle of Jamaica without an all-inclusive thing, they might be scared.
They might get robbed.
They might get robbed, but they might not get robbed. They just might be scared of getting robbed.
Sure. Okay, yes.
You got to stick to the path in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tourist path.
Yes. Right.
Well put, though. They might be scared of getting robbed. Yeah. I want to go to Jamaica. I've never been there either.
There's places you can't go everywhere. There's places you can't go in Boston. You're going to get beat up there too. But
Absolutely.
as long as you know kind of what to avoid, you're okay. Mm-hmm. We just got back from Costa Rica. You ever been there?
No.
This shit was crazy.
Yeah, there's places you can't go there. I'm sure.
We went there. We went to these places.
I love that.
And it was like, there's nothing to be scared of here. They're not going to kill us. We were in the jungle.
That's
like
amazing, really.
The jungle.
That's amazing.
In fact, one of the first places we were staying was, we landed, we went, how long do we have here? I'm not going to go on forever.
Whatever you want.
But I'm just going to talk a little bit about a foreign country and an experience there, which
we're long form.
Which would be comparable to something you could get in America, but this was the jungle, and we had to drive. Basically, we had to have a 4-wheel drive vehicle to get where we were going.
That's amazing.
And thank God we did, because I beat the hell out of this thing, and the roads were bad. I mean, it's like, okay, there's no car that would get up this. Like, we got to go up that, and next thing you know, we're on the top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere on one road that was 19 miles into the jungle, and then beyond that, there was another village which had maybe 8 families in it that has been there for like 2,000 years or whatever.
Awesome.
We were out there. And it literally was like, at any second, you just felt like the cartel's going to come out of the woods, and you're going to be in a straw shack, like, tied up to the bamboo, waiting for the ransom. It was completely, unbelievably awesome. And there was no threat of anything. We were in the ghetto there. We drove through these places that was like, oh my God, people live here? No threat. No problem. No nothing.
That's amazing.
No fear.
Yeah.
And once you don't have that, you don't have to be worried about so much. Sure. Like I know people wouldn't go where we went just on the notion that it's not all inclusive, and because they've been to the places that are all inclusive. And I went to St. Martin one time, and we were in an all inclusive place. We had to go get our phone cards. Our SIM cards for our phones. Back when you had to flew to another country, you had to get a different SIM card. Yeah. They sent an armed guard with us to go to the phone place, and when we went down that road, the shit was bad. Those people were going to kill us. Yeah. They had an armed guard at the Verizon place who opened the cab door, shuffled us inside. We got our cards. He shuffled us back into the cab, who waited for us, and then we drove back to the all-inclusive place. There were legit problems there. Yeah. Something had happened down the street. There was cops all over there with AR-15s and something bad had just happened. So yeah, that was dangerous. Would I have gone there by myself? Would I have been afraid of that? Yes, I would have.
Yeah, you should be.
But it's a little different because in a place like that, they know that the all-inclusive people aren't going to venture out. Yeah. They're not going to go off there. They're going to go on a guided tour on a bus to the zip lines maybe or something like that, but they're going to be safe. There's no outside zone where you can. We had a car. Yeah. And we got to the point on the GPS and it was like, oh, there's a hole in the jungle. Yeah. It's telling us to go in there 10 miles. Okay. And and next thing you know, there's jungle and 10 miles of it. And, there was just this nothing's going to happen.
Well, there's an agreement with tourists, even the cartels, they bank money off tourists.
Yeah. Talking on the mic.
They don't want to kill tourists.
Talking on the mic.
They don't want to kill tourists. They want tourists.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. No, if bad things happen down there, it does get back. But truth be told, I worked for Liberty Mutual. I did a lot of advertising for them. Oh, can I say that?
Yes.
I did a lot of international marketing.
This episode's brought to you by Liberty Mutual.
Yeah. It was before they had that stupid, I'm not even going to say it because it drives me crazy. We were in many meetings. We're like, we're not going to have a mnemonic. Good. Don't ever make one. And now and you know what it is now. Don't say it. Drives me crazy. Okay, all right. But one of the annual reports that I did was the kidnapping, ransom, and extortion report, where they reported on the larger amount of kidnappings in the world based on international travel and who the business people were that got kidnapped on the other end. Wow. This is business now. So if you're a petroleum company and you're sending people to Argentina and all these places to mine and get stuff like that, well, those are valuable assets to a kidnapper because they're not a tourist.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So they'll grab somebody and, could your family come up with $500,000?
No.
I bet they could.
If they had to.
If you were hanging from a shed.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, they could.
Somebody would put up their home.
Somebody would. You'd get it. Yeah. And there was a lot of that. They had this Fortune 100 insurance company had a whole wing on kidnapping and extortion. That makes
sense.
Yeah. Kidnapping, ransom, and extortion. So
don't let Chris leave the building.
I'm just saying, I had my eyes on this document for months. Wow. And it was wow. Yeah. Don't go to Ecuador. But that's business, not tourists.
You're wanted.
Not me. I had nothing to do with it. But I was just laying out sheets.
I get it.
They sent me the data. I laid out whatever.
That's some surreal shit to see, though.
Oh yeah, no question. It was that's really eye-opening. Yeah. Really eye-opening. Yeah. The fact that there was a business just about it. Yeah. That they had to be the foresight to know that, all right, we're going to send 300 guys to Ecuador and 2 of them are going to get kidnapped. That's a pretty big margin. Yeah. Yeah. 2 out of 300. Think about it. Yeah. And usually it's an inside job. It's somebody who, the cab guy knows I'm picking up. When they get into the neighborhood and somebody comes up and sticks a gun in the cab guy's face and he gets out of the go, I don't know nothing.
Sure.
And it's his cousin.
Yeah. That makes
cousin.
Sense.
Now, microcosm, right?
Yeah.
He's my cousin. He's my brother. I've only been to the police station in this town twice in my life. I'm on the select board. Yeah. That's the way it goes down.
For sure, man.
So.
Good way to bring it back.
Yeah. Full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Life is full circle.
It is.
God, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Well, it's one man's version of the truth.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One man's version of the truth that I
Talking
think,
on the mic.
One man's version of the truth that I think is highly relatable to many men. Fuck.
I'm just a guy.
It's well put, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you brought it right back, and that's true. And it's so crazy when you look at the small circle of people that are involved in the Karen Reed case.
I was in the, I'll put it in perspective. I was in the middle of the ghetto of Costa Rica, and I felt no fear.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like this is a third world country. You look around, you're like, oh my God, these people live like that, and I was not afraid of anything.
You're not that 0.2%. You don't have anything to worry
No business. I was not a businessman.
Okay.
So I was tourist. They don't want to, like
Yeah,
you
so
said,
you're
they don't
not
want
even
to
on
tourist.
that fucking demographic.
They could have,
Yeah.
easily robbed us or whatever. My dad got robbed in the Bahamas back in the 90s, but that notwithstanding, when I walked by D&E Pizza, I got a bad feeling.
No kidding.
Did you ever, have you walked by it?
Drove by it many times because I visit Canton all the time to visit my fiance's family. But no, I have never walked by it.
My girl and I were up there, and we ended up at the intersection where D&E Pizza was right in front of us. And I didn't know, I hadn't been there.
Yeah, it's very small. I
Very
mean, it
small.
just pops up.
Very small. And I look up on the sign, I'm like, oh my God, that's D&E Pizza. Oh my God, let's pull over. Let's see what's going on here. Oh my God, there's the waterfall. Oh my God, they're right next to each other. Oh my God. So we got out and we walked around it, and we walked by D&E Pizza. And I'm telling you, man, I felt creepy.
Really?
I got a weird vibe. I did. And I don't get that. I'm not that guy, but I felt like, I feel like
Creepy.
maybe it's because, I know how much he hates Turtle Boy and that whole thing. And I felt like they could have been looking out the window at, two more Turtle Boy
Probably were.
turtle bitches that were just there to cause trouble.
Yeah.
We were there at 9 o'clock at night. We weren't doing anything. We were just walking by. But it felt like, yeah, I don't know.
That closed.
It was
Closed
not
town.
comfortable.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes are
So like
on
I said, Costa Rica, ghetto,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
D&E Pizza. I'm watching my back.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I've been
she's
to
like,
some-
"You want to go in? You want to go in the waterfall and have a drink?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm not going in there." I probably would now, but
It's a nice sign.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
inviting. Yeah.
I hear the potato skins are great.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't want a pizza, the potato skins. Because you're at a pizza shop all night and you don't eat anything, and then you leave and you go to the waterfall, you have to order food.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a weight loss challenge.
You wait 3 weeks. We had 3 weeks left. I'm just going to eat these.
Eat those fucking potatoes.
Man, this guy. How like it's so.
Contradictory.
I know somebody that plays in a cover band at the waterfall.
What's that?
How loud were they? Because I noticed
They're an '80s cover band.
I noticed they used the Bose sticks.
Oh, those
Oh
are
yeah,
good.
I heard about that.
Right. What's the band?
Can
you say?
No.
All right.
That would have been good to know. We could have punched him in.
Personal.
Okay. Yeah, man. That I've been to a lot of I guess a fair amount. I've been to a fair amount of ghettos in different parts of Europe.
Sure.
And I had nothing but a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was touring with a band, a lot of fans, and that's what brought us to those ghettos. And then we were in some really nice areas too.
What band?
I was touring back in 2004. I was 19 turning 20, and I was touring with a New York hardcore band called 25 to Life.
Okay.
And they're like one of the most known hardcore bands.
Yeah. I heard the name.
Yeah, they've been around since like the late 80s, early 90s. And I had an amazing time. I mean, Rick's going to be coming on the show, and he's a controversial figure, I guess some people would say, but he's really a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And I mean, long story short, I've been to a few different ghettos, and I had nothing but just an amazing time.
Yeah.
I think it matters who you go in there with, But even the people, though, I got a sense that like anybody would connect with them. They're connectable.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything, people get robbed. Yeah, sure. Like shit goes down.
You gotta keep your wits about you and don't get, don't get into, things can happen anywhere.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's
Absolutely.
True.
Dude, I've been to all over Asia and a whole other project I was working on years later.
Yep.
And that was amazing. I mean, I went to, God, I can't say I've been in like poor sections of China, but like China's interesting. I've
heard some interesting things about China.
Yeah, but everywhere I went, it was fucking great. Yeah. When I was in Japan, everywhere I went was great. There was a few run-ins with some Yakuza people, but it's funny over there because you know who people are.
Right.
Like, when you're fucking, like, dealing with the Yakuza.
Right. Really?
So, like,
wow.
Yeah, you don't step out of bounds.
No.
Like, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's one of those things. But, yeah, man, I mean, I've been to enough places in America, outside of America, where, like, most people connect with each other.
Yeah.
And they're happy to.
They want to talk to you. They want to talk to travelers. They want to hear your story. They see a Massachusetts plate, especially in the States, especially out west. They're like, well, you're a long way from home.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
Yeah.
It's like,
it's funny that
riding around.
Well, it's funny that, like, inside of Massachusetts, I think I've been more creeped out in Massachusetts than I have anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you bring up, walking by D&E at night and feeling that vibe.
Yep.
And I have felt that more in Massachusetts than I have anywhere else. Even when I thought I was getting kidnapped. That's a long story. We didn't end up getting kidnapped, but it was looking that way.
Okay.
Long story short, we were not getting kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even when that happened, I have felt more sketched out in areas like in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
People screaming at your vehicle at red lights in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Quincy the other day. And I just can't believe people still do this. The old woman walking across the street with her walker, and some guy yells out of his 1992 beater, he's, "Get moving, you fucking car!" I was like, dude, he looked like a crackhead.
Yeah, sure.
And he just yelled out the window with this little old lady, "Move it, you!" And he used the C word. And I was like,
that's funny because I was going to call him a cunt.
well, that's what he was.
Yeah.
That's what he was. And but to say that on the street in front of people, I thought we've come further.
Say London.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It ain't London. Which, it's fine. It's
This ain't
not.
Stoddard.
It's not.
Yeah.
Stuttgart.
If you it disgusted me. And you can't say anything to the guy. He's going to get out of the car.
Sure.
Like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But this isn't somebody that I would have been afraid to talk to, but he was driving.
Yeah.
And he just called some old lady the C word for
What a mean man.
Yeah, it was mean. And
you got to be a miserable son of a bitch.
He looked like he was on drugs.
Probably.
He looked like a tweaker of sorts. He was.
He's going to get drugs.
Yeah, he might have been going to get drugs. He was totally like red. The.
Yeah.
Like.
Desperation.
Desperation.
In their face.
Yeah, he looked like he.
If you get out and help, it happens faster.
Yeah. Oh, what helped the woman cross the road?
Exactly.
Well, it was too late for that. I mean, I didn't expect it.
Well, no, I didn't mean you, but maybe this young man
he should
could
have.
Yeah.
He should have. Yeah. But the disrespect, it was like, bro, what are you like?
Yeah.
Not even bro. You fucking jackass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible. I disrespect to the elders. Whenever I get behind somebody in traffic, I think of my mom.
Yeah.
All right, she's just, let's not yell at her. She's holding up the line, but
come on.
We got to be patient around here because you're already waiting 10 cars deep at every stoplight, no matter where you go anyway. So, why yell at that old lady?
And that old lady's going to be you someday.
That's right.
That's, maybe not that guy. He'll probably die soon, but
I'm going to be that old lady someday.
You might be.
Yeah, I want to be. My goal is to be old and like pretend like I'm senile and
And a
fuck
lady.
with the youth.
Yeah.
I want to fuck with the youth, but by then they'll probably just kill me.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
They'll call you all the weird words, and you're gonna be like, "What?"
What is that?
yeah. Unfortunately, as a man, even an older man, you know, the youth of today may,
You never know.
yeah. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, the school system changed in 2008 pretty drastically.
Yeah. Want to expound on that a little bit?
Please.
That's for another
Not
episode.
that nobody believes you. But are you talking?
I think I
about,
know
Oh,
what
are you
it-
talking about like the election of Obama?
Well, that's when it happened.
I know the food changed. That's for sure.
Well, that does something to people's brains and
That is true.
the stuff they feed into that brain.
Ah.
You know,
That's very true.
Go to the middle of the aisle or the middle of the store, everybody, and just load those carts up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I stick to the. I stick to the
aisle.
perimeter,
You
man.
know what's up. You know what's up. The middle is where the devil lies.
Yeah, for sure, man. The devil's in the details.
Yeah. When I see the herd and their overstuffed carts at the checkout, I'm like, there's a reason why you look like that.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you're the herd.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I got a few pounds, but I'm not stuffing, like,
Yeah, you know.
I've never had a cart overflowing with food. Or quote unquote what they call food these days.
What they call
Jacks,
food.
Yeah,
and,
well put. Well
processed whatever, you know.
Yeah.
They've all, for a while, I worked for vertical marketing companies in the food processing industry. This was
Oh, that's another episode right there.
Yeah, dude.
all day,
this-
bro.
You need to come.
all day.
You need to come back.
So my first mentor that got me into the marketing, he worked for vertical market advertising for the meat industry.
Wow.
So what he was working on, they have all these trade mags for meat processing machines, big ones, like as big as this room. And when you see how much meat comes out and how fast it comes out, you're like, well, that's a lot of cows. Where'd they all come from?
Yeah, that would be the
Sausage stuffer. Fills up a big 50-gallon thing like in about 30 seconds. You're
Holy
like,
fuck.
man, that's a lot of animals, you know?
Yeah, how much of that is animal?
Right. So along the way, they have these machines that are stuffers and injectors that inject in, say, let's say you go to the 99 and you want to eat large and you get the 99 steak. Well, that steak's been injected with stuff that makes it weigh a little bit more. So that they can say 11 ounces. But it's really it's 9 ounces that they puff it up with soy. Okay? They just
Of course they do. That's why we have soy boys running around.
correct. And
Yeah.
it makes it cheaper.
Yeah.
And if they can inject something, and as long as it's under the FDA approval, they can sell it.
Which isn't difficult.
Not really.
Talking to your mic.
Yeah, like when you go into other countries, like especially like England,
Yeah.
a lot of your France, like their FDA equivalent, dude, they're so much stricter.
Food is pure.
Yeah, it's pure. Exactly.
pure.
Their
So
cheese
why is
amazing.
food put together in the same thing as drugs? FDA.
Yeah,
This
that's
guy
That's the
right
question,
here.
Bry guy.
This guy right here is putting it all together.
Brian knows what's up.
Yeah, he does.
Banned everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got a firsthand look into the advertising side of how they were selling these machines and who they were trying to sell them to, which is large Midwestern meat conglomerates, which, you know, this company's in Canton, oddly enough.
I believe it.
Riser.
Really.
Yep. And I was only part-time for this guy. I only did a few things for him for a couple of years, probably around 04, 05. But I saw more than I ever wanted to see in my entire life about how food processing works, and it's never going to change, and it's already way, way, way gone. And so that's when I started paying attention to what people bought in stores, and then I started seeing people with huge shopping carts full of shit shit.
And looking like shit.
And yeah, they don't look like they take care of themselves, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, little Johnny wants, you got to eat lunch? Oh, send him with some Jacks. Here's a Lunchable. That.
Dude, Lunchable is literally the first thing that just popped into my brain.
You know it, bro.
Yeah,
Been in the news.
Yeah.
Because you know what marketing. Oh, look how convenient it is, Mom. Just give it to little Johnny, and he'll be a happy little boy in school all day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 3 years later, the kid's veins are swole up, and he's having mood swings, and they're like, "Oh, you know what he needs?
Drugs.
Yeah. What drugs does he need? Let's put him on. What's that one Green Day sings about?
Ritalin.
Ritalin.
Ritalin,
Yes.
Xanax,
Yes.
fucking
Give me Ritalin,
Prozac.
Novocaine,
fucking-
whatever.
Yeah.
But you got moms being like, "Oh, the kid's acting up. I'll just." Yeah. I mean, he seems to give him Adderall. Give him Adderall. Yeah, that'll help.
Yep.
Because the food they're feeding them is making them freaking out of control, and they try to treat it with something else.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a bad move.
Well, dude, and you wonder why there's like a rise in what is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Autism.
Well, yeah, definitely a rise in autism and a rise in cancer and a rise in people questioning their sexuality, because of the phthalates and like the microplastics and all the bullshit they're pumping into meat, there's
I tell you,
the things they teach you in schools too.
Well,
yeah,
and
soy.
You're not wrong. My girl and I were about the same age. They didn't have the volume of what they're having now.
Yeah.
In terms of people wanting to make decisions about their lives.
Yeah.
We had a couple people that were like, okay, something's going on there, and I won't begrudge that person, even though it was different times and they got begrudged.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more of it now. A lot more.
Yeah, it's like an epidemic.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. People can do whatever they want. I don't care what people do sexually.
But it's not natural. It's something that is like being manipulated.
That's a different night, a different topic. But
Yeah,
the big overarching picture would be that what you don't see nowadays is a mother and a father and kids.
Right.
Yeah, the nuclear
Yeah.
family, that
Right.
whole thing.
Yeah, there's you can go down the rabbit hole in this thing forever.
Sure, yeah.
So
Is it intentional or is it a byproduct of,
I think
of the
it's-
big companies wanting to make more money?
it's a byproduct.
Is it both?
I
Is
think
it-
well, it's partially both. I
Yeah.
think it's their again, like in politics, how black a deal can you get away with?
The Hydra works hand in hand. Head in
Correct.
head.
Correct. How much profit can Kraft make on Cheese Whiz if they stick a little more soybean in there?
Right, cut it. Yeah.
Yeah. And as long as the FDA approves that amount,
Yeah.
they're going to do they're going to.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're
work,
getting more
They don't
money.
work on a dollar. They don't work on a dollar. They work on a micro penny.
And you're talking trillions of
Trillions of
pennies.
micro pennies.
Sure, yeah.
And then in that scheme, it adds up quicker. Mm-hmm. Now, I also worked for one of the larger store chains around here for a while, doing a lot of their advertising. And I will tell you that if blueberries or if something is going into their advertising, say blueberries are 88 cents a peck, and there's a misprint, and it's 89 cents a peck, or wrong, that's wrong. If they were purchased at 89 cents a peck, and the advertising goes out that it's 88 cents a peck, that's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars for a misprinted price.
I got you.
Okay? A company like Kraft is so much bigger than any retail chain store you can think about around here. Bigger than all of them. Any of them.
The
Name
six,
one.
right? There's Nestle, Kraft.
Right. Right. They work on how much can they reduce the price of this little thing right here. This little tab on this thing to make it less money. And then the ingredients on the inside, open range, my friend. So if they can work on a percentage of a percentage, That's probably not even a thing. A percentage of a percentage.
Oh, they'll go for
Kraft,
fractions.
Kraft, Nestle,
Fractions.
JBS, Tyson, Pepsi.
You're talking like fractions of pennies. Like,
Yes, and it's kind of like having a YouTube channel where like you kind of get paid on how long your show is, right?
This show can't make it on
not
YouTube.
Not this show, but this show's never make it on there. But what I'm saying is the reason why Glare and all those shows are making more money is because of their engagement. Yeah. They have people, and so he'll do a 7-hour show, and it's like, oh my God, look at my numbers. People watch me for 7 hours. Well, all you do is rebroadcast Tom's CPU.
Right.
Right.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Nestle, Pepsi, and blank, and Coca-Cola. Guess who the third is?
Nestle, Pepsi. Would you say blank?
And the fourth is Coca-Cola. Guess who the third is?
Hold on. Post.
Food and beverage.
I could guess.
Beer.
Budweiser.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Well, you could tie this up in a number of different ways, but the bottom line is if they're making a penny or a tenth of a penny, they don't care. Volume. It's all about the volume. If you work in a call center and your job is to talk to people all day, say you work for Verizon, you're in their tech support team, you get paid for how long your phone calls are. So if the guy says, hold on, I got to take a shit, and go right ahead, sir. Click.
They're banking.
Hey, I made the big board this week. Look, my numbers are up. I got 40 minutes on every call. And there's supposed to be somebody monitoring that. There's supposed to be somebody who's their boss that's like, I know you put that guy on hold while he took a shit.
Yeah, you cut him in.
And, well,
right?
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Your TPS reports are off, like.
Dude, that's so funny you just said that. I was thinking of Office Space like a little bit ago.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
You got some bean counter up top going, your phone time's down, you know?
Yeah. That scam they do in Office Space where they're
Correct.
scamming fractions of a cent.
That's too close.
That's it.
No one's
right
going to
there.
notice. No one's going to notice.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Damn, man.
So.
Wow. I'm gonna need you to come in tomorrow.
This show took a turn.
It did.
Why don't we take a break? Is anybody hot right now?
I gotta
take a
piss.
break.
I gotta pee.
Let's put the show
We
on
have
hold.
in order for this to be a single episode, we have 10 more minutes left.
We got 10 more minutes.
All right.
All right. Well, hey, let's hit pause because I gotta piss, and then we'll bring this thing and put it to bed.
All right.
All right.
Hot Rod Life, taking a pee.
And here we are. We're back.
Yep.
We peed.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So somewhere along the line, when the restriction was coming up for the First Amendment buffer zone, where they were going to and the Commonwealth was coming down on the man, and they're going to, no free Karen Reid stuff on the courtroom steps.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of agreed with that because you can't have the jury going in there.
Yeah.
With thousands of people standing outside, because that's what it would have been.
Yeah.
But people were up in arms. The groups are going crazy. Who's like, they can't do this to us. We got to find this. But it was immediate. It was happening in real time. And Judge Bev said, nope, we're putting a buffer zone in 500 feet or whatever. And the groups automatically were going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I made the suggestion. One color is the answer. See, what I do is I'll get on the page and I'll just throw up a little something. I'm kind of like a guy that shoots a 3-pointer from the outside and sort of walks away. So I said it was right after this verdict came out or whatever the motion came out that they were going to have a buffer zone, and I said one color is the answer. And Karen Reid immediately commented pink.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that said it. So
Nice.
and so I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Karen Reid actually commented on something, and it got picked up right away.
That's huge.
The Turtle Boy shared that immediately.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, here's our answer. One color, and within minutes there was like 500 people that were like, oh, got my pink shit, like they were all going out buying stuff, and I felt like a personal connection at that point. I was like, okay, I actually, I'm not saying somebody else wouldn't have come up with the idea to wear just one color.
But you did.
Someone's got to make the waves.
It was my first suggestion, and I just thought they can't stop you from wearing a pink tie. They can't stop you from wearing a pink shirt.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to do? Show up and, that's Turtle Boy shit. I'm wearing pink.
Yeah,
You know, you're a Karen Reed person. No, I'm just wearing a pink tie.
Right.
They can't stop.
They can't stop
you
it
for that.
anyway. I mean, there's
They
someone.
can't, as long as it doesn't say Free Karen Reed. And I'm like, it shouldn't even say anything on it. You shouldn't try to hide it under your jacket. Oh, look, I'm wearing Free Karen Reed. You know, like it doesn't need to be that. It's more powerful if it's subtle.
Yeah.
Because that way people see it and they don't think that it's an invasion. They think that it's somebody sending a subtle message. And Bev had it on the very next day. She wore pink under her robe. And people were all commenting, look, Bev's wearing pink. I was like, no, she's just wearing pink because some people wear pink.
Yeah, she ain't one of us.
Well,
That's
you could argue that it was a subtle message because clearly the message was out there. Everybody's following these pages. Everybody knows that Karen had adapted pink as the color that she wanted to be in this thing. And Turtle Boy shared it. And the whole thing went pink like right away.
Yeah. I watched it.
It spread like wildfire. And what happened?
Where's our applause button, Brian?
But, you know, there was an immediate, like, almost people started making Free Karen Reed things that were pink.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it shouldn't say Free Karen Reed on it. It should just be pink. You got a pink skirt? Wear that.
Right.
You got pink socks? Wear them. Yeah. You got pink underwear? Wear it. You know?
I saw your comment.
Something just in support, you know? Again, the subtlety is the way to really take over the brain. You don't, if you're, look, I'm a Free Karen Reed, they're going to go, fuck you. I said fuck you yesterday, and I'm saying fuck you again today. But if just subtly, tangentially, they see the pink on the side and they know that it's support,
It's classy.
that's classy.
Yeah.
And you're not waking any waves. You're not causing any trouble. You're sort of like the Silent Underground.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you know, it's a way of.
By waves, I meant ripples.
Exactly. It's a way of being able to display your feelings without having to get in people's faces. Because I'm not I never stood there and held a sign.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I saw Karen walk by. I was like, come on, Karen, you got this. I was there to support that. I am against injustice.
Less is more.
Yeah, and there are certainly people that are very vocal. That's where the song came out. I felt their rage. I felt you've recorded before. It's not easy to capture that kind of emotion in a song.
Yeah, that's why I asked you when we were first talking about it. It came to you because that's how a song sometimes
Correct.
they come to you as a whole.
Correct.
And you have to fucking act. You have to act on that.
I have
I'm sorry, but the Somewhere Over the Rainbow by that original Hawaiian guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so real emotional. It's just one take.
Yeah,
Right.
beautiful too.
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful take.
This did not take long. This was a demo. This was like, okay, I have a riff stockpile. I've got riffs that I'm like,
Yeah.
I hit the record button and I'll play it. I'll put that away, and I have.
It's
I have
very
things,
Charlie Daniels, like the rhyme scheme of it.
It kind of is. It kind of is. Yeah. Well, it's quick, but it's drop D.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
like
Yeah.
you're out of the pop culture realm.
I wasn't saying you're ripping it off.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know the drum beat. I know what you're feeling. And the break, the breakdown is
Yes.
sort of before when Jackson's talking there.
Yeah.
I was at that when he
love
said
it.
that. I was at that. I was in the courtroom when he said that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I love how you
I
sampled
went
that.
I went to put it in, and I was like, this fits fucking perfectly.
She
Oh
didn't
my
hit the
God, it's
car.
so-
The car didn't hit him.
Yep.
Dude, that part
Period.
is so good.
Full stop, and then the band stops, and then it's just the drum, tap, 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 and that's that Charlie Daniels part right there, But it sort of just fell out of the sky.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
And I played it for a couple of people, and they're like, "Oh, you got to release this. You got to. This is going to take off." And this was the about 5 days before the trial started, and I called Joe up. I mean, you know that guy. We'll call him Joe.
We'll call him Joe.
I call
Jose.
Jose. Yeah. What's up? Anyway, I called up Mr. X,
Jose
and I said, "Can we? I got a tune. It only had one guitar track, one bass track.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't have to go and like mix a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And the balance was pretty good already. I didn't want to change any of the dynamics of the song. It was already laid out.
It had to have been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. It just needed you go, fluff this up.
The levels.
Inject that steak with the saline,
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He
put some fake blood in it.
he pumped up my
Not fake blood.
He puffed up my Cheetos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He added that secret ingredient that just made it more palpable. And once he did that, because if you've ever handed your music over to somebody, he was knob twiddling for a little while, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Hold
don't
on,
do
wait
that.
a minute. Did he try to add synths?
No,
No
not this
synthesizer.
time.
Okay.
I got him. I got his number. Anyway, but I reeled him in. I was sitting right behind him going, "Don't you touch that, bro. Don't you touch that." I'm kidding. No, he did a great job. And in the end, the decisions, he made decisions that made it what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I could not have done that. So, kudos to him. It happened very quickly, and the song was done on Saturday night, and I released it on Sunday night with that little video, which I basically just stayed up all night, putting together. And
Great video.
it just happened. I had some stock footage of another band doing some stuff that happened to have.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Oh no, that's not the same song at all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I noticed the playing was off, but I didn't realize that the guy singing and playing wasn't you.
Oh, that's me.
It is you.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
This last summer, I had a friend who was in a glam band in L.A. in town. He was a childhood friend of mine. We had been together many, many years ago. How many minutes we got left? We were in a band called the Lab Rats, and we did a Lab Rats reunion. We did one song at the C Note in Hull.
Nice. We just played that.
Yeah, I was playing in the cover band, and we took a break, and he was there, and I was like, "Hey, you want to do a song from back in the day?" And he was like, "Sure." So we hopped up and we did the song, and it came out fucking killer. I'll send you a link to it. It's pretty funny.
Please do.
I'll link it up in the bio for the episode.
Yeah.
And then and so I took the footage from that. I put a camera on the end of my bass and just
Great.
like try to get some good shots.
You got some good shots.
I did.
You did. Yeah.
And the other one's from the Jetty. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, good times.
Fuck yeah, man. Dude, I'm so glad you came on.
Likewise.
I'm impressed, man. I mean, we didn't know each other from a hole in the wall, and just to talk to you for the last 3 hours it's been a privilege, man.
A lot of talking got done tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I come back on, please.
All right,
sometime.
all right.
There's so much more we can talk about.
Oh, we'll talk to my agent.
There's gonna be you please talk to your agent. There's gonna be updates about the Karen Reed trial.
Definitely.
Where do you think it's going?
I'm anticipating every minute. I think they're laying down the path. The traps are being set.
For the defense.
The defense.
Just trapping the CW.
And it's very subtle.
Yeah.
All of the little details are very subtle, but they're getting them all. They're getting, these little percentages. And once we get there.
Hard Rock Life.
Justice for John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed.
Free Karen Reed.